Evening, everybody. Let me unmute the others as well. Transfer across. Hello!
It's muted.
Hello.
Hello.
Goodbye.
Oh, okay. Bye-bye. Huh?
So we've got
Mickey Mouse! Clubhouse!
a little bit more of a delay in starting. Dan's having some mic trouble at the moment, so we're just seeing if we can get that sorted before jumping in. But I thought I'd let you see all of these lovely faces and then you can chat to them.
Wow, I'm not lovely.
I pointed in that direction on my stream. It's across to all of you.
Stream, you're on, everyone is on that side, you potato.
Yeah, but I'm
Actually-
not lovely.
Which?
I am evil.
I'm...
No, your character is evil.
His character's something.
No. It's
Yeah.
that way.
Wahaha.
What are you doing?
Yeah,
Matt?
Matt,
Yeah.
Matt, you're on the top, so you're pointing down at everyone.
Yeah. I was figuring out which direction, and then I was like, oh yeah, I'm top. So yeah.
That's where it worked out nicely, because it's flipped. I just pointed at the screen where you guys are actually on. I was like, these people, and it just worked out nicely.
Evil is just a matter of perspective. Ooh.
There's only one evil being here, and it's Mercy.
Secret evil genius in cat form?
Yes.
Oh boy. We're
Oh.
doomed.
She hears
That is the ultimate evil at the end of it that Matt hasn't told us about. We're just going to be fighting a giant.
It's a
demonic-
400-foot mercy
400-foot
Oh,
demonic
shit.
mercy.
with her signature attack.
Sometimes she yeets herself at me and attacks my leg and bites it.
Oh, really?
How much
Terrifying.
damage does that do? Do you have to roll for that?
Yes.
Like a 1d4. I rolled a 2.
I mean, Hunter, you're always pretty big evil.
I thought you were going to say pretty good there. Pretty.
So guys,
Pretty.
I rolled a 1d20 to see how today's session is going to go, and it's a 7.
Well, that means nothing to us.
I think if memory serves,
Seven
Matt was
good or
saying, if
seven
you
bad?
rolled a 7, we auto level up to level 19.
Yeah, cool. Love that.
Yeah, that's what it says in my handbook.
Yeah.
Mr. Potshaw,
Hang on,
thank
let me
you
just
very much for the
check
follow.
my D&D book says 7 is 7 is good.
Animal Crossing. 7 is good.
I don't have. I have a better thing. It's Legend of Zelda. It's Breath of the Wild. It also says good.
Enemies level up to
Another
32.
headset.
No.
I do believe
No.
I have the official resource, thank you very much.
Yes, I do too.
Alright, nerds.
Yeah, what of it?
So, let us consult the DMG.
I should
Matt-
keep them on hand.
Matt
I
makes
can't
evil
turn
plans.
too much at the moment because of where the camera is, but like, they're all on that shelf, like that shelf, which I can't point at because angles.
Hey, what magic item to give the party?
I am Dungeon
Yeah,
Master.
Mr. Poshak. Woo.
Hey, thank you very
Hi.
much for the subscription.
Hype.
I shouldn't say anything because he'll probably unsubscribe to me. But I was in Poshdark's stream last night, and I may have made a couple of comments which he wasn't overly fond about.
What did he say? Poor Mr. Posher.
I mean, he'd flipped his camera. It was the way his hair was, and he had glasses and the beard. And I was just like, you kind of look a little bit like Will Wheaton at the moment. And apparently
can we
that was a big
Are you
no-no.
are you allowed to judge people's hairline, but you don't have any?
I shouldn't mind, thank you very much.
No one can judge anyone's hair right now because everyone has terrible hair.
Quarantine
Yeah,
hair.
very much.
Yay.
Except for me.
I really need a freaking haircut.
Had a fresh shave today, actually. Looking.
I did not. I am in hobo land.
Same.
I love the amount of
Ain't got any
tutorials.
change.
I love the
Ain't
amount of
got
tutorials going up on YouTube now about cutting your hair at home.
Yeah, let's not.
Pro hairdresser trip. Don't do it. Your hairdresser will hate you, and it's really fucking annoying. Don't do it. Thanks.
Oh,
No,
I'm gonna-
that's been my
I'm going to be
Thanks.
saving myself like £11-12 a month now. I'm just like, yeah, I don't need to do it. I can literally just do it at home now and save myself the trouble.
Fine. It's fine, Con. Just put it back. It's fine. Just put it in a little bun.
Man bun.
Come on, man bun it.
Make a man
bun
bun.
it, man.
You do it. You pull it off. Oh.
Oh.
Got the arm. Spready. Shaving it. Baldy all the way. Ugh.
And
So few people can pull off not having hair.
I was honestly
It's my
getting
personal
very
opinion.
close to just considering it. Like at least just trimming it to like a millimeter or whatever, like short. Just because I got so tired of my hair, and then they started like opening up stuff again, and like barbers and stuff were also opening up, so I was like, yeah, I can hold on
Right.
to this for a little bit longer.
Very few people
Yeah.
have nice heads. Heads are weird.
nice heads.
Yeah. People don't have nice heads. People. Like it's just I know if I shaved my head it would be horrible because I have a really big head.
Oh. Lambert has a nice head.
Yeah, so he can be bald.
What's a nice head? 10 out of 10.
I thought I did pretty well though. Like I cut my dad's hair, and like I've never done that before, and I thought it didn't turn out too bad.
I would
She'll send you guys
uh,
pictures.
I would rub Lambert's head.
Yeah, just do
When-
sign language,
when
but then you have
drunk.
to turn your head. Then you have to turn your camera on, Dan.
Wait, it's use a webcam mic.
Yeah, that's what I told him. To do.
Hog.
My hair that's adorable.
Pardon me.
Yeah, I don't think I did too bad cutting my dad's
Yeah,
hair.
that looks good. Yeah, not
Yeah.
bad. This is a good difference.
Yeah.
How do you know when to stop when you're washing your face?
I don't. I just go
It
all
is
the
a
way
cat,
through now.
GB. That's a cat. Are you a cat, Mercy? Mercy, are you a cat?
No, I am the ruler of these worlds.
She's a cat. That's why she's not responding.
Yeah, I don't know if you knew, cats don't speak English.
Rip.
They don't speak Norwegian either. Terrible quality is better than no quality, though.
Yeah.
Right? It's kind of hard to play D&D without hearing you. You have to type everything out.
Indeed.
A wise choice. You say that. I mean, it's fine.
Otherwise,
Indeed.
otherwise
Oh,
Mercy's
wise
gonna have to
choice.
stand in and do your voice, Dan.
Can't do the accent. Sorry.
Do you think, wait, you could use webcam audio but not video, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you select the webcam as your audio source, it should work.
Yeah.
But Con, if you are bald, then your forehead is just goes all the way back. So then it cancels that out.
Yeah. You don't have a forehead anymore, you just have head.
It's just a head. No one would know. Cancels it out. Life hack.
Life hack, don't have a big forehead anymore by shaving your head.
People think it's bangs, but actually it's being bald.
I mean,
when
like-
I rub my hand through my head, I have like a kind of like
You mean through your hair?
yeah, you know what I mean. It's like it's a circle, and then all of a sudden it goes like boom boom, and then carries on. So I think it's because of how much I wear my headset. Like
Oh, yeah,
I
no,
would
yeah.
say-
Oh, yeah.
I've got like a dent in
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
head.
Yeah.
I have a dent in my finger for how much I use my phone.
Wait, what?
Yeah, because you hold your phone, it's kind of like on your finger like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
So for a while, I had like a dent in my
I
in
guess
my finger.
I guess I have the same thing. Yeah.
It was like a lot when I didn't use my PC a lot. That got worse.
Unless
Yeah,
I
I've just noticed
like,
mine.
But
I've
like one
noticed
is worse than the other because I use the hand more.
Yeah, mine I just noticed on my finger.
It might be it, or it might just be that I have very skinny
It's
fingers.
like,
I mean, I have that too, but
cause like you hold your phone like that.
yeah.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
hold
I
my
have
phone
fat
like this.
fingers, so it's not that noticeable, but...
Yeah.
I would mine like that.
Luckily, I have a better phone case now, so it doesn't do that so much.
I think I'm one of
Just-
the few people in the world now that doesn't have that clip thing on the back.
Alright.
Oh
yeah,
no,
we
I
can
don't have it
start.
either.
No,
Yeah,
I
I
don't.
know. I don't like it. Mercy,
No.
can you... What are you doing? She flop?
She flop. Oh,
Yeah, the
yeah,
little pop
the-
socket
Yeah.
thing. My mom and dad do. Wow, such boomers. Just kidding.
Yeah, Hunter, it's
Yeah, we
like
can
I
start.
see so many people with it. It's like a little handle thing for the back of your phone.
Pop sockets.
I
Oh
guess-
yeah, pop socket.
I guess it's kind of multifunctional since you can also use it as like a stand for.
Yeah,
your
I know,
phone
it
like
is
that.
actually quite smart, but I just don't like having things on the back. Because then I can't see these cute Pokemon.
I mean, I can't see them either because the quality of the.
Well,
content
that's not my fault.
Yeah. But yeah, they're not.
Yeah, we can start. I mean, Dan will just pop in maybe eventually when he can talk.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay.
We'll try to not ask you too many questions, I guess.
Just
Just
we'll just pretend he's
remember-
gone full werewolf and he can't speak anymore.
Oh.
So, Wilhelm, what do you want to do next?
I would.
That's
Where's the
it.
moon?
And until we get Dan back on the mic, any questions that the DM asked Wilhelm, Nietzsche just has to reply with that.
Matt, abuse the hell out of that, please.
The moment when all
Is that
my
what you
plans
think,
for this
Wolf?
session was all to do with Dan.
Yeah, this is Dan's like story session.
Yeah.
Yeah, his story arc beginning.
Yeah.
You're just gonna see him right in chat. Ow.
Ooh.
Ow, ow, ow.
Bork, bork, bork.
Bork, bork, bork.
Woof.
Wolf.
Da 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 da. If someone redeems the neat 1 point, there's not 1 point and it's D&D stream immediately. Wow, Con. Why are you so rude?
Pardon me.
Shit, yeah.
But potentially, yes. But
Yes.
on the other hand of that, if you've already got 1 million channel points, I may question that.
Why are you in the future?
Also, Matt, to answer your question, I have my health in the other side, so I have 19. Oh, okay. So it's 19 HP. Wilhelm does, of 35. Okay.
Also, for those in chat, if you're watching on a tablet or a PC or laptop, you should have the DnDbeyond extension going at the moment. Dan's character should now be back in that. We've made sure to add him back in.
Yeah,
This
it is
doesn't have
now.
the right amount of HP, so technically it's still useless.
That's not on me. That's on Dan.
I can change that right now.
And
Because I can possibly change things.
I'm nearly dead.
Yeah, 3
Yeah.
HP. Yay!
I'm half HP.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I'm doing some. I'm fine. I have 12 HP, but that's almost full for me.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah.
nearly full for me.
I only have 18.
Okay, we'll
a lot
swap.
of people.
You have 3, I'll have 12.
No,
But you can heal yourself, it's fine.
I can't. I've used up all my spells.
Yeah,
There's a reason. There's a reason you're 3 HP, you dummy.
Heck,
we went pretty much to the edge right there last time,
Yeah.
I think.
it was hard.
I ain't got nothing left. Nothing.
I've got nothing left!
What more do you want from me?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. That's handy.
I know. Right. Brady.
Next, shall we get into this then?
Let's do this.
Yeah.
Very bright.
Okay, Mr. Evil Man.
Look at this stats.
Spawn spiders, yes. I will do.
Oh.
Alright.
Shut
Oh,
up,
no.
Outriders.
Dan leaves the call.
Yep.
Can leave session.
It literally leaves the campaign. Okay. So, last time within the world of Epperia, you guys had essentially gotten to this type of ruins in which you guys had encountered some of these kind of half dead, half living, grey, like darkish dwarves, which had mushrooms essentially sticking out of them and seemed to be under some kind of hive mind effects. You guys managed to find a lever in one of the rooms, which ended up opening a secret type of passageway, to which it led to some kind of rooms of puzzles, basically, in order to get to a final room. With the puzzles, there was one where you guys essentially had to move around the pedestals so that they would lock in place, and they all had different types of languages on them, to which you guys managed to successfully open. After that, it unlocked the next room, as well as giving you this kind of bright orb, red in colour, the first one was, to which seemed to have been some kind of key to open the main door to which you guys were trying to get through. You went to the second room and found that there was a statue of a I can't speak, Dwarven knight, who essentially was in the middle of fighting a basilisk, which was not real. It was a statue. It was only a statue, but it had the effects of a basilisk, which allowed essentially the person who looks at it to slowly turn to stone, which was great. Enaloon did that with ease due to her tall figure, standing over the statue, which blocked the gaze, and thus allowing her to grab the key to open the lock for the next door. In the next room, the party had their wits about them and managed to successfully stomp the room, really, as in stomp the puzzle for the room, as they essentially stepped onto 4 pressure plates which were all in corners of the room, which when all stepped on as you're taking the orb off the pedestal, seemed to have allowed for them to stop the golem from waking up and trying to come after whoever had the orb. You guys completed those with ease and came back to the small obelisk which you had to present your orbs into, and you managed to fit all of them in and essentially opened up another stone door. This led into a kind of decently sized room which seemed to have 2 statues of 2 more Dwarven knights, and then opening the gates to the room, the group managed to find some more of these half-dead Dwarven mushroom people, and to which had been under the control of of what seemed to be a kind of mushroom woman who had a kind of like serpent-like body. She essentially told you all that you would be great additions to her and her spawn, and wished to essentially take over your bodies. That was quickly interrupted by you guys essentially starting to take combat with her, and after a decently long battle, some of you suffered some side effects of the mushroom spores, and to which you managed to have your minds slightly corrupted with some form of madness for some of you. And at that point, I think it was Garret who did the finishing blow, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
To kill her.
Yeah.
To which she dissolved into a pile of fungus and rotted into the floor. And at that point, we left it there.
All right.
Oh yeah, and you guys managed to find a dwarven man stirring behind some bars over here, which seemed to be.
Yes, that's
You weren't sure whether he was asleep or unconscious or if he's dead, but you was in the process of checking him out.
Let's poke him with a stick.
Yeah.
go out poking people with sticks. That's rude.
It is pretty rude.
I mean, if I want to poke him with something, do I have to do it with a weapon? Because I don't think any of us are going to have a stick on us, right?
I mean, I have my spear, so I can just poke
The
him with
back
the
end?
other end of my spear.
I say poke him with a blunt end.
Yeah. I'll
You're
walk
too
up
paranoid to
the-
blunt point him with the blunt.
Yeah, I'll
So you're gonna-
I'll poke him with like the blunt end of my spear.
Okay, so you
As a response.
poke him with the blunt end of your spear, and you jab him a few times, and he doesn't seem to exactly like sit upright or anything, but he does like toss a slight bit, just like very minor movements, just like kind of shifting side to side, but he's still laying on the floor.
Well, looks like he is kind of alive. He's moving. He's not dead.
Oh, me and you, Garret, we have different definitions for alive. I wouldn't call that slight bit of movement alive.
And he seems quite filthy as well.
What does that have to do with anything?
Sorry, Wilhelm says a woo. But yes. Does he look like he has anything on him that could be of any benefit to us?
Does he?
Taking a bit of a closer look at him, you kind of get to see like the whole of him now as you're looking through the bars slightly, and you see he has like black curly hair that goes past his shoulders to the chest. He looks very like worn. He's all muddy and dirty. He's got a very like blocky face with like this massive circular nose with some boils on it. Doesn't seem to have been treated well down here at the moment. Like he looks messy as anything. And he seems to be wearing some kind of like very casual clothing. A lot of it's ripped though in places. It seems as though he's been like tossed about quite a bit and that. On his feet though, he does seem to be wearing these kind of like steel toe cap boots almost. And he seems to have like a kind of knapsack just on his like little belt what he's got around him as he's wearing this tunic and that. He seems pretty bulky honestly, and he looks dwarven in nature, and he has this massive like it's such a messy beard right now, but you're kind of not surprised with the current condition he's in, and he seems to have like a tattoo on his arm and that, and other than that you don't seem to see much else.
What kind of bars are in front of it? Like, is it like just a gate with like a lock, or?
It seems to be kind of just like these almost like iron bars which are just like they don't seem to be. There seems to be a gate, but it's pretty like small. But obviously, due to his size, it kind of like fits him.
Okay. Did we loot anything?
Smashed
No,
it with-
you didn't.
Okay, then I wanna walk
But
up
she-
to where we killed
She
the...
dissolved into nothingness.
Yeah, but like, I'd imagine there would be some key or something to his cell. And I'd imagine she would be keeping it somewhere on her.
Can I roll investigation for the general area?
Well, just having a look around to see if.
Yeah.
you
Can
find-
I do the same for looting her? See if there's anything left.
Yeah. If you guys want, you can always, if you want to just both do a separate investigation roll, or you can help one another if you want.
I'll be doing mine myself, thank you.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it instead.
15.
What was my investigation? 14.
14,
Bad.
and then a
I
15.
don't see anything.
Okay, so Nadi, you kind of check around where she actually like where you finished her off, and you're looking around the area, and like kind of stuffed away, kind of close by around here, like near the bark of the tree stump itself, you do see what seems to be a kind of like a key, but it seems very rusted. It's a decent size as well, but yeah, you seem to find a key.
Okay.
For you, Jasper, as well as Wilhelm, you're kind of looking around through the rubble, and all you can find is more mushrooms. Really, you're not finding much else.
I
Alright.
rolled higher than Naddy and I get fuck all and he gets a key. What?
Yeah, I was
You
looking
looked
specifically
on her body.
for the
You
body.
looked specifically around
Oh,
her.
Yeah,
okay.
you're just looking at general area.
Okay.
Okay, then I tried to open the gate with the key.
Okay, so you put the key in and you turn it as you're like fiddling around with it a bit, because it seems to be a bit like it is very stiff. You're trying to like turn it around a bit, and you manage to unlock it as it just creaks open. And you see, at this point, as you're kind of opening the gate, it just seems to almost like fall off as you open it.
All right. Well, that
Okay.
takes care of that.
Well, Halfling, you're the only one who can fit through the door. Why don't you go and see what that little rat is all about?
Is
If
it
he
a
has
little bit bigger than that?
It's fine, just go and have a look. If he has anything good, bring it back, thank you.
I mean, is it safe? I don't know.
Oh, who cares? You're a big boy. I mean, not literally, but you know.
Fair, fair. All right, I'll go up to him and see if he's all right. Like, what's going on with him?
Okay, so you're kind of give me a medicine check actually.
Oh, that's not great. Medicine. Oh, that's actually pretty decent. Well, my modifier is pretty decent. It's to 11.
11. Okay. So yeah, you're just looking over his body, just kind of investigating him a bit, just seeing if he's got much wounds. He's very dirty. Like you see all like there's like mud all over his face. You do see like as you're kind of like just looking around his body itself, like you move like the hair to the side of it, and you can see as there seems to be like one lone mushroom, just like a tiny one in the middle of like sprouting from like behind his neck.
Guys, looks like he is somewhat infected by whatever it is that happens here.
Well, then
Just
kill
put
it
him out-
then.
He's
Put
got
him out of his
mushrooms.
misery. Put him out of his misery.
Can't just go around murdering people.
Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
I'm
do
not
you
sure
really
about
want
this
to be
either.
taking along another filthy peasant thing with us that may turn and kill us at any point? We barely made it
Quite
out of that
frankly.
last fight.
Quite frankly, you've seen what we've just fought. It's disgusting. Those creatures are vile. This man has evidently suffered. Why won't we do him the good
Yes.
thing? Put him out of his misery.
But the
I mean-
other mushroom people who were completely infected just collapsed and were gone.
Exactly. So we don't want him to reach that point. We don't know if that mushroom might
Maybe
start
we can-
growing.
He's in the
No,
process
but
of changing quite
the
clearly.
mushroom could have been like whatever infected him could be gone already, and it's just something that's still left on him.
Yeah, everything else she was controlling or had infected seems to just have like ceased to exist. So why
Okay.
is this so different?
I will entertain a possibility. Enaloon, you are a wonderful artist with the healing touch. Do you believe that you could cure him of this infection?
I'm not a medic. I'm not a doctor. I'm a cleric.
Well, but you can magic up all these wonderful spells, and it's beautiful. I'm just wondering,
Yeah,
if you got
really
one in there, if you got one in your little book or your mind that says cure infection.
No.
Oh, well, wonderful use you are then. Just kill him.
Well, if you really want to get rid of him, do it yourself, because I don't want this blood on my hands.
I mean,
Have you seen the filth on that man? I'm not going
my
within.
problem.
I'm not going within 10 feet of him. It's vile. You're
Well,
already there. Do it
then-
yourself.
I mean,
Shut
if
the
you're
hell up.
both too scared to do it, and I pull out my crossbow and I shoot him.
You shoot him.
Yeah.
Okay. Rotate with advantage.
Wait, he's lying down, isn't he?
Yeah.
Be disadvantage.
One minute, how close are you to him?
Outside the cage.
It's like 10 feet, right?
Oh shit, yeah. Yeah, it would be.
Well, the higher one was a 19, the lower one is a 12, which makes it an unnatural 20 to hit.
Damn.
Yeah. That was sure. Roll for damage. He's literally a dwarf with like scrapped just
Guys are
your
horrible.
standard clothing. Like he literally has no armor or anything on him. The most armor he has are these steel toe-capped boots.
I hope he didn't aim for his toes.
Can I jump in front of the dwarf and put myself out of my misery?
I mean, I only rolled a 1, so that's only 5 points of damage.
5 points of damage. So
He's already fucking dying. He doesn't need much, does he? Blow on him and he's dead.
so you so yeah, you shoot him, and as you do, it's like you literally. Are you specifically aiming anywhere, or are you just trying to like literally shoot him in the head?
Maybe his leg or something.
Maybe it's like
No, not really aiming
so-
in anywhere particular, just like...
okay. Okay, so yeah, you shoot him in the leg, and you just hear him go, "Ah!" as he literally sits upright, as you just see him just like recovering, like absolutely reeling in pain from where you just shot him in the leg.
I stagger back and take like a defensive stance, ready to attack if needed.
Oh, Garret, now you want to attack.
No.
Now I see how it is.
I did not want to attack. I'm just being
Yeah.
cautious.
Put your bloody spear away then.
Yeah, you see as he's just got like a wound and it's just profusely bleeding from this point, and he just takes a look at it, and you literally see as he is sick right on the floor next to him.
Oh, lovely. That's
Oh.
just delightful. Oh, wonderful.
Ghastly.
You see, like, kind of like
When?
it from what you can see as he's being sick. You do see a few chunks of like what looks like mushrooms, essentially.
See,
out with
he
the
was
sick as well.
infected all through his insides. He was obviously going to be one of
He's
them.
throwing it out now.
Yeah,
Could be
now,
something.
beforehand, he may have been changing. Garrett, make yourself useful
What?
for once and just put him out of his misery.
What the
No.
fuck did you do that for? Ah!
Excuse my party, they're a little bit dumb in the head.
Don't mind them.
Are you
How are
okay?
you?
Like, what happened here?
Am I okay? Do I look okay right now?
No? Were you okay before?
Oh, he's a jokester too. Well,
No. I've just been bloody shot.
I know.
What happened to you? How did you get here?
Do none of you feel any remorse for what you just did to me?
That
Didn't do
was
anything.
Not me. That was
yeah, that was
guy over
Ginzeros. That was Ginzeros.
Well, I mean, you were lying there, seemingly unconscious, you were having mushrooms growing out of you. Given what we've just seen, it only seemed fair to save others. By others,
What do
I
you mean,
clearly
mushroom?
mean me.
Mushroom on
You've-
your neck,
you've
you
got a
fool.
mushroom on your neck.
And clearly, by the smell, you've been down here quite some time.
You just see him. He's just kind of like, as he's like staring in the pain at the same time. He's just like really freaked out when touching like this mushroom what's on the back of him. And you see as he like tries like pulling it like with a lot of force, and you see he's like ow, okay, no. As he's like pulling on this mushroom, it just looks like he's making the pain worse for himself at this
So
moment.
he must be infected deep to the core, and that one on his
Oh.
neck might be attached to the brain. You never know.
He's just kind of like flicking it as well, just like messing around with it now. It's like...
King your bean. People here.
I mean, even if he is actually infected and goes batshit crazy, we're with a lot of more people than he is on his own.
What are you guys doing here?
Trying
Where
to
are we
murder
anyway?
us. Yes, that's kind of what we're trying to figure out. We don't really know.
Well, 1 minute I was making my way down the road, and then the next minute I'm down in here.
There seems to have been some sort of mushroom people. That,
Mushroom people?
yeah, we don't really know. She was kind of controlling these other dwarven people. I think maybe they were your. Were you alone? Did you come with other people?
No, I was traveling alone.
There was some like mushroom dwarves.
Mushroom dwarfs. I don't know.
See what this says to me, gang. If you'd all like to indulge me for 1 second. I know it's hard for you sometimes to listen to a more intellectual being, but
Well, when one gets here, Jasper, please do tell us.
oh, spiffing, ginger ace, spiffing. It seems as though this man was infected, ready to turn, and it would be happening soon. However, he has not yet gone through the states and transformed. So, we really should be
Around this
careful.
mushroom disease now.
So, the other dwarves had all turned by this point. Now, we don't know how this mushroom infection works. And whilst she might be dead, the infection may still carry on throughout his body and transform him at a point. I would not like to know when. I would rather it was just dead in the ground, quite frankly.
Can we focus?
As much as it pains me to
Oh.
say so, I have to agree with the changeling for once.
I hear it, Dan, by the way.
Yeah, I had it
Oh,
down
well.
then.
Ah, woo.
You might have to turn him up a little bit.
Yeah, I
but
turned it
I
down
heard
because I don't want my PC to
Fine.
Like, hey, there we go.
Honestly, why would he be traveling alone?
This is true.
Honestly,
You
The
down
last
here
bit-
on your own?
honestly, the last thing I was doing here was making my way to Southlock.
On your own? Why would you
Yeah.
go down?
That's
Where-
suicide.
Why?
What
Because
kind-
all I need is myself. I'm plenty capable, but I guess not at this time. Wasn't expecting a fucking, like, hole in the ground to suck me up, of all things. It's supposed to be peaceful.
So you've now proven you're naive and a fool. I mean, I really don't see any reason why we should be doing anything but leaving him here to die. He clearly won't be able to follow now.
Oh, yeah,
it.
You don't talk to Fodrick Mudmore like this.
I'm
Who
sorry.
in the what
You
now?
wanna be a
Oh,
Viking?
who know the fuckery who?
Fodrick Mudmore! I'm a member of the guild! Libra, you dumb shits!
You've literally got the word mud in your name, and quite frankly, that says it all.
Yeah? And what of it?
I mean, you're clearly
I'm saying-
nobody of importance because none of us seem to know your name.
Doesn't matter, I guess.
But you mentioned you were part of the guild?
Yeah, I'm one of the big heads. You know what I mean?
Okay then.
Going, Gingeros, shooting one of the guild members in the fucking
Yeah,
leg.
good
Yes,
job,
A
buddy.
guild member who travels on their own when they're quite powerful and yet still gets sucked into the ground ends up in here
We
with
also
some weird
got sucked
mushroom
into the
growing out
ground. Do
of
you
their neck.
remember?
Yes, but we were travelling together safely.
Yeah, and we still got sucked into the ground. Wow.
Yes,
Good for us.
but you are missing the point here, Annalune. He was travelling by himself. What sort of an incompetent fool would take such a risk?
Clearly not you, but that's just because you aren't
No,
capable of
thank
being on
you.
your own.
Thank you. I will take the first part of that as a compliment. You
Well,
understand
none of
that
it was.
you understand that I have an intelligence level that says I have the wherewithal to travel with people. So if times of danger and need do ever strike upon Jasper, I can merely just get rid of one of you in sacrifice to save myself.
That's a good point. We can take him and then sacrifice him if needs be.
What?
What?
You're talking
I
about
might hear
Pepper,
you,
right?
You know he can hear you, right?
No.
We're talking about Jasper, right?
Yes, definitely.
Very
Okay,
funny
yeah,
halfling.
there we go.
Oh,
I
I'd
mean,
forgotten you were here.
That is
Sorry.
quite barbaric.
I wish you
boy.
did.
Yeah.
Okay,
Alright.
okay. If we are so set on not wanting to kill this man, whatever your name was, Mudface Bottom Brown.
Podrick Mudmaul.
Yes, close enough.
I don't hear a difference.
We could just knock him out, maybe, and bring him with us.
Why would we knock him out?
Because I feel like if he is going to transform, I believe he would probably need to be conscious a little bit.
Well, if
Why do
that's
you
the
keep
case,
talking about me transforming?
why don't
I'm
we
a
just
frickin'
knock
dwarf.
him out and leave him here?
Yes.
Why do
You're
you
a
think that
dwarf.
mushroom is
why
on
do
your
you want
neck
a
then?
filthy person following us, Jasper?
I don't know.
Well, we just saw people who are made out of mushrooms, people who are infected by mushrooms. Obviously, we're going to be a bit wary of the fact that you have a mushroom stuck to your hacking neck. Okay? That's all. And you kind of threw up some mushroom too. So, I mean, did you eat the mushrooms? What's up with that?
Don't know. I don't know what I did with the mushrooms, honestly. I didn't know
Well,
I
that
had
doesn't help,
mushrooms.
does it? Just trying to get out of this alive.
Well, dare I say it, Enaloon had a good point for once. The crux of the matter is, we have found this man right next to where we saw these infected mushroom people, and we have to make a choice. Do we risk bringing him along with us, knowing he could transform, and we could potentially get him somewhere where he can be cured, leave him here to rot and die, because quite frankly that would be a lot easier.
Oh, my.
Map's
My,
gone
uh,
completely dark.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
mine's
yeah,
black.
yeah. I don't know what happened then either. I saw that too.
My whole
Okay.
PC.
All
frozen
you
and
have
it
to
went
do is
black.
move the character.
Oh yeah.
Some fix.
Yeah, just move your character.
Yeah, just maybe guy.
Okay,
Oh, right,
Matt,
yeah.
Matt, where's the dwarf gone?
He's
Matt,
in,
the
he's
dwarf's
in.
dead.
He ran! He's gone!
He's there! Okay!
He's escaped. He's
I really
escaped.
panicked, the dwarf is dead!
Everyone
Shit,
jumped and ran away.
he turned the lights off and ran.
No, I stopped.
Can that be canon?
How the fuck is he gonna run? He's got an arrow in his leg!
I told you
He had a
the
trap-
mastermind to the idea.
The,
He
He
had-
literally
he
took
had
an
a
arrow
trapdoor.
to the knee. What's he gonna do about it?
the light comes back on and he's like crawling round the edge of the rope like, shit, this seems better in my head.
Oh, also, if we do take him with us, I guess raise your hand if you think Jin should be the one to carry him, because obviously he cannot walk.
Yes.
I think that-
No,
Something that disgusting.
No?
No.
Yeah,
Yes,
what,
I agree.
I don't know. I believe Jinzeros, for once in his life, did an actual noble, very kind act by trying to put that man out of his
Good
misery.
job. You shot one of the
So-
guild masters.
Look, I'm.
well,
So,
he-
quite frankly, I
The
think if
very
anyone's going to
guild
carry
we
him,
were on our way to.
Look,
I
if
think
if I
anyone,
want
if
to-
anyone's going to carry him, it should just be our lovely little dog here. He can be our little mule, and carry him along.
Seems like Jasper's talking a lot of sense at the moment. Although, bringing him along, the only
Going a
use
bit
he would
insane.
be is being the first one to die and act as a fodder should we meet anything else down here.
but we don't know if it's contagious. What happens if it on contact it will spread on other people?
We make Jin carry
This is
him.
All,
true.
all
We're
the
here
more reason to
anyway.
then leave him
Yeah.
here. If
I
he's
mean,
so high up in the guild,
we can
then...
carry him if it helps. Oh shit!
Oh,
What?
right, we have these two guys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Forgot they were
we
here.
got one
I was about to ask like what are the Wings of Redemption actually doing at this point, but there we go.
They're here.
Yeah.
But also, I just like to make a good point
They're just
on
amusing themselves with your guys' conversation right now.
something Enaloon just said, and I know we've all been glossing over this for a second, but Jinzeros, are you feeling okay?
Feeling quite fine. I don't know what you're talking about.
Because I don't think I've ever agreed with you as much in the last 20 minutes as I have in my entire life.
I know,
Yes,
it's a
I
scary
agree.
thing that's happening. I don't disagree that it is somewhat weird, but you have been talking a lot of sense. Maybe getting knocked around the head a couple times actually knocked some sense into you, Jasper.
Oh, it's
Oh,
either that or
It sounds
you.
exactly the same as always. You're the one going insane. That
Yeah.
is fact. You're both out of your minds.
Well, I was going to say, actually, maybe Jinzero's taking a couple of blows to the head knocks some sense into him. Maybe he sees the light now. Maybe he's a changed man.
Either way, it seems like we're the only two that are making sense at the moment.
Yes.
Personally,
No,
I think
not at
if
all.
he's so high, if this thing is so high up in the guild, then there should be others looking for him, and we've clearly been the heroes here and dealt with everything that's currently in this place, so they should not have any issues in finding him. He's clearly not going anywhere.
Well, no, you make
you
damn
made
sure of that.
No,
Wow.
I think we could take him anyway. This might be a big reward.
Let's say this. If you guys can help me get out of here after this, and he just points at his like leg, just the bullet wound in his leg. I can say some good things about you to the guild, as your way of apologizing to me through what you've just done.
I may be spacing out, but
Okay,
how much do we know about
gang.
the guild?
Not a lot.
Guild is where
Um,
we're going, though. The whole
yeah,
purpose of our
from
travel.
The main things you know about the guild is that it's a decently sized guild of Domburia. It's essentially one of the bigger ones, and they don't take in they don't always take in everyone, but they have 3 ways of recruiting people. Basically, they have recruitment days during festivals, like how you guys were signed up. The other 2 ways are through high nobility connections, as well as people like referring other people into the guild, kind of thing. So it's the pretty closed off guild, but because of that, it has a lot of knowledge.
You guys might remember those contracts that we signed,
Okay, gang. We have spent enough time waffling, quite frankly. I propose a vote. Your 2 options are thus. I am putting my foot down. We shall bring him with us, but we will palm him off to the guards. I'm sure they can't hear me, they're so far away, and they're just blathering about some mushrooms or something, I don't know. And we can take him back, and we will avoid any risk of infection. Or option 2, we will shoot him in the head and be done with it.
One?
Garret,
Hand?
One.
what do you vote?
First option. I'm not gonna kill him.
Enaloon,
One.
Jinzeros.
Well, I mean, given the options, I really don't want to be wasting my bullets on something like that. So I guess 1 is the only option.
Well, I vote for 2, and of course mine counts for double, so it is 3-2 now.
Why does
Wilhelm,
It's
There,
more
no
conflict
questions.
for me.
How does your math work?
no questions. Wilhelm, what
Well,
do you
I mean,
choose?
Jasper clearly isn't that educated. He has some common sense moments, but yes, as we've
No,
clearly
it's
seen
quite
before,
simple.
This is not one of them.
I'm much more influential and important than all of you, so I get 2 votes.
Yes, and
I-
even
I-
then, how
I'm pretty
does
sure
that
I'm
count
just
up
as
to
influential and
3?
important as you. So then that means
Because-
I get 2 votes too.
You 3 count 3 votes for option 1, and I am 2 votes for option 2.
You said
Okay,
that
okay,
voted 3
I'll
for
go
it.
for option 1, but if he does anything weird, I'm gonna we kill him on the spot.
Okay, we shall bring him with us. Wings of Redemption, would you come over, please?
Oh, so now
know
they can
what?
hear you.
I shouted, but you know I don't want to raise my voice literally in your ear hole.
Alright, buddy, here you go.
They carry him. No backpack.
Carrying him.
He's being Yodered.
Well, one of them is carrying him, to be honest, the older one, the one who had the heavy crossbow, because the other one is still partially injured from all the shit he went through. Such as being thrown off the side of a huge stone arch and
Yeah.
other things.
He did not have a good day.
When is he gonna get a level up?
Never.
Never.
Die
Oh god.
by mushroom infection. Yeast. Yeast infection.
Yeast infection. Oh.
Now we must get on to the more important matter. How the hell do we get out of this place?
Well, might as well move back, because I believe there was another path we can go through, so...
Yeah, this room seems pretty shut off.
Yes, I don't think there is much more here for us.
Did we check the other cells? It was just mushrooms and rubble.
They were
right?
just
Just
full of
rubble,
rubble.
mainly.
Full of
Rubble,
rubble.
yeah, okay. Alright, let's move out then.
Okay, so as you guys are heading out, you begin to feel as the ground around like the stump area seems to shake very, very harshly, and like a few seconds go by, and as this is happening, you see the stump. It was already kind of embedded into the ceiling, but you see as the roots begin to extend and the stump begins to grow and grow, as it starts basically destroying the ceiling of the actual place itself. And as you see this, you begin to see this hole kind of hollow itself out in the tree stump, like on the side bit of it, where the door is. So about here, and you see this hole begin to form. And as you're doing this, you see this green light emanate from the middle, and it grows and grows until it fills the whole of the hole. The whole of the hole, yeah. And you see it radiate like all these different colors, greens, blues, and you see step through it. You see this green woman, and you see as she seems to be made out of leaves almost.
I ready my spear.
I aim a crossbow towards it.
Okay.
Not
She
another one.
is. She looks very beautiful in nature, and you can see as she is like partially naked, but you see as she has this dress essentially made out of leaves, and you see as her body has like vines all crawling across it. And you see her look at all of you, and she looks at you all and then bows her head and kind of like does a kind of curtsy, almost.
Oh, good. Another one to deal with.
Good pause on that.
Down.
This woman does not seem quite as ominous as the last.
Oh, I'm not going to
No.
attack just
That
yet.
because
but
she's half naked.
Jasper's been down here a very long time.
Who are you?
I am Arella.
Avrella?
Yes. Thank you, all of you, for ridding us of the infection of Zuktamoy and her followers.
Oh, is this your tree?
To an extent, the whole forest doesn't belong to me, but I care for it.
No.
Were
but
you
what-
were you imprisoned within this tree?
I was not imprisoned, but I could not make my way over here because of the infection of Zuktamoy.
What happened here?
One of the bridesmaids of Zuktamoy herself ended up tainting this place, tainting the natural order of this place, eating away at it almost, and because of that, I could not touch the infection, or I myself would end up being corrupted too. Unfortunately, I had to wait for someone to come along and sort this out.
So
sort this problem out.
whilst you weren't imprisoned, so to say, you were sheltering until the problem was dealt with.
How long
I
has
hate to say it,
gone
but
for?
that is true. How long?
How long? How you been here? Or how's this going on for?
Almost, I'd say 3 months.
Do you know anything about this dwarf we found in here?
She kind of like gives him a look over. No, but I can sense the presence of Zuktamoy within him. Same with you three, and she points at Jinzerose, Jasper, and Garret.
What are you talking about? We clearly have no mushrooms or anything upon us.
Yeah.
You saw those sheltering for 3 months hasn't, skewed your thoughts.
You do not have mushrooms to show it, but it is within your head. It is a kind of taint on the mind.
Well, that just sounds like madness.
um,
I couldn't. It was there. I had to.
oh my god.
Do I get inspiration for that at least?
You close the gap for your next level up slightly.
So now that you are free to escape, I must ask, what is the cure for infected people?
Well, that is something not my people, but the blessings of nature itself can help with.
Of nature.
That's very vague. Would you get to the point?
Is it something
If you
that you
want.
may be able to do now if we are indeed infected, or is it somewhere you can tell us where to go?
I can take you there myself, if you wish. It is the least I can do after what you've done.
Are we sure we can trust you?
I care for the forest and its inhabitants. You have done us a great deal. I can reward you with that as well as something else, what I have in mind.
And what
Well-
might that be?
Can I roll an insight check for that all?
Yeah. Roll me an insight check.
Because I am wary as hell. Natural 20. Let's go.
You're looking at her, and as she's speaking, like, just from her look, she seems to be the most sincere she can be right now. She seems to be telling the utmost truth from what you can hear from it.
Does my curse affect me in any way with how I perceive that?
It makes you feel a bit paranoid, but it's one of those things where she is telling it that, like, she's speaking in that kind of tone where it kind of resonates with you in a way.
Okay.
Now, if you were to take us to this magical place where we can be healed, before we do go, the dwarf, he is quite visibly infected. Are we at risk?
In due time, you would be, but with nature's blessing, that shouldn't be too much of a problem.
So, you would say it is safe for us to bring him with for now?
For now, yes.
Hmm. Well, I say we get an absolute move on, hurry ourselves up, and we get to this place so we can cure ourselves.
Yes. How do we actually get out of here?
Just follow me through the tree. And you see as she begins to step towards the portal and kind of like shows you kind of the way, like points of like arms to it towards it.
All right. What was her name again?
It was Arella.
Arella. Right.
Halfling, why don't you go first in case it is a trick?
Why would I go first?
In case it is a trick, we're clearly far too valuable to risk this.
So,
I don't mean to offend Ginger Ross, but since when are you valuable?
Well, I mean, I wasn't the one running up and down like Jasper was, so I feel I did much more in the last couple of fights than he's done. But since he appears to be some kind of nobility, I can't really let him go dying beforehand. Although he seems to be
Of course you
wanting
can.
to gather a small army of dwarves to follow us, so...
Next, now I'll go first.
Hmm. Well,
Yeah.
you know, I thought Garret might be lonely, so I was getting himself some friends of his own size.
friends
How-
of my own size. What?
The dwarfs, I don't think she's of his size. She's just a leaf lady.
I'm just talking of the dwarves.
There's only one dwarf.
How altruistic, Jasper. You clearly were knocked around the head in that fight.
Alright, well, let's
Oh.
go. Not
We'll get
stand
them
around. You guys are the one that are infected. Go on. Hurry up.
I feel that me and Jasper are either going to be agreeing on every single level or just taking pot shots at each other. There's no middle ground for us at the moment.
Alright. Well, I guess I will follow as well and go into the tree.
Okay, so you begin to step through the portal first, and
Well,
you.
second. After Wilhelm.
Oh, second. Oh yeah, Wilhelm. Okay. So yeah, Wilhelm and Garret step through the portal, and to everyone else, you just see as like they go through it, and just nothing remains of them. Like they have completely disappeared.
Reroll characters! Alright.
I'm gonna go
So the
through
rest
too.
of you are stepping through as well.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. So you all begin to step through the portal, and as you step through, you feel your body is almost like stretched and squashed as you begin to see, if only for a second, this vortex almost of color just radiating around you, before you see a light shine ahead of you almost, as you feel like your consciousness almost fades for a second, and as you kind of get closer toward this light, you feel yourself come back to consciousness, and you see before you some kind of grove-like area, and you see within the grove itself, you see a small pond with one singular island, and what looks like stepping stones almost leading over to it. You kind of have a brief moment as you just step through, just to have a quick look around, and it seems to be nighttime from the looks of it.
But we are definitely above ground again.
Yes, you have a brief moment, look around, and you seem to be in some kind of forest of sorts as well. And you kind of see around you, as well as that, a plethora of trees and greenery with flowers in full bloom. It's a really beautiful sight, honestly, to all of you. And you see like the twinkling of fireflies, like dancing across this pond almost. And you see on that central island what you saw as you come out of the portal. You see this kind of stump of a tree. There isn't any like the actual tree itself. It's just the stump, and you see these massive roots, which seem to be like dipped into the water almost. We are here at my grove.
Nice enough.
How are all of you? How do you feel?
Well,
Fine. Not really fine, but you know, we're alive.
yeah.
Still
Hungry.
lacking somewhat, if I must admit it.
Yes, in need of some rest, but glad to be able to breathe in
definitely
some fresh air.
rest, but not sure if we can take rests right now, you know?
Okay. So some people have helped it in the past, have not had good experiences with the portal. Some of them kind of came out a bit dizzy, a bit woozy. The dwarf honestly looks a bit woozy though. He is not doing that
I was
well
going to say,
at all,
do we
honestly.
hear the dwarf start throwing up behind us?
you see him, he's not like dizzy, you just see him like, oh, like where am I kind of thing. You just see his eyes just looking all over the place. And then you just see the guy like, come on, keep it with you. You can get through this.
So you said you can cure this infection we apparently have. We are at your
Yeah.
grove.
Well then, let's just step to the central island. So she begins to kind of like, not almost, she kind of like hovers slightly off the ground, almost like with kind of leaves and like the grass beneath her feet almost kind of growing slightly everywhere she walks around. And you see her as she begins to hop almost across the stepping stones which leads to the central island. And you see as she kind of, once she's there, she like gestures to you all to like follow as well.
I guess I will follow her.
Yes, we've come this far.
Indeed.
Okay. So yeah, so as you all essentially step across to the small island, you see her put out her hands, and they kind of radiate this green energy almost. And you see as one of the tree stump's roots almost like move out from the water, and it like forms into her hands. And you see as the roots itself kind of detach from the stump, and you see as it kind of weaves itself almost into like a wooden staff, and you see at the tip of it, you see like vines entangled into a knot, and you see these vines like tying themselves in a spiral pattern down the staff itself. And she says to you all, this is one of the first rewards before I shall heal you. You may take this on your journeys. The forest is happy enough with your help and wishes to reward you. With this staff, you'll be able to call upon nature to help bind your foes in place. Use it wisely.
I go to
Wonderful.
reach for the staff.
And I step forward and just grab it.
Of course.
Well,
Wait.
I didn't
Wait.
realise you were
Wait,
that
why-
needy,
why-
Jasper.
Why are you taking that?
Well, you never know when it might come in handy.
But why are you just taking it as like we're not it's not just yours?
Well, maybe if I feel generous one day, you can borrow it. I'll let you play with my toy.
Let's be honest, Annalune. He is
It's
the
not
one that
yours
needs.
though. That's what I'm saying. It's ours.
Yes, okay. Yes, it's ours. We'll say that. Yeah,
Annalune, he's
it's ours. Yes, it's ours, of course, yes. Don't worry your pretty little head.
He is quite greedy, and let's face it, out of all of us, he needs all the help he can get. Maybe having a little stick will help him keep
I'm
the
just
enemies
saying.
away.
The person that is mostly dead or mostly unconscious maybe shouldn't have the thing that is most powerful. Maybe someone who should, be able to stay alive should have it.
The
Yeah, I
best case
agree.
scenario is he dies and we take it off of him anyway.
If he falls off a cliff or something again, you never know.
Yeah.
But then
I mean,
we'll
I
be
could just-
celebrating and
Can't.
it'll be worth it.
I could just, punch him and he would fall into the water and maybe drown.
And that's the best thing you've said the entire journey, Garret.
Well, if you've all had your laughs, why don't we get on with this?
Okay, when you give me the stuff.
I tell you what, Annalune, if you can muster up 3 nice things about me, I'll let you have it.
It's not worth it. You keep it.
As I thought, selfish.
No, just
Not
honest.
selfish.
There's
I
clearly
just don't
not
lie.
even one nice
Selfish, self-absorbed witch.
thing. Jasper, you should really stop describing yourself in front of others. It's really unbecoming of yourself.
Now, can we get on with this and keep the childish jokes for a, more entertaining time?
I thought it was quite fitting.
How you would.
I would. I did.
So while all of you are having this discussion, you see as she basically does what she did just now with her hands radiating this green energy, but this time you see as this flower, what you can recognize almost like a lily, almost a giant lily sprouting from behind you guys, and you see as it just sprouts, and it's enormous. It's probably about 10 feet high in height. And you see as she then says, stand underneath the lily, one by one, and open your mouth, and you will be healed of all ailments, as the dew heals your wounds.
Why do you go first, Jin?
Yes, we'll use you as our test subject.
Well, you're clearly the most scared one out of us, Jasper, so I wasn't expecting you, and Garret seems completely paranoid at the moment, so he's probably going to be hugging a tree stump in fear. If you two are too scared to do it, fine. Jin steps forward.
Okay, so you step forward and you kind of like have your mouth slightly open, and you see as from the lily's like the actual where the flower kind of blooms, you see as this little dewdrop kind of like just drop down, and it goes into your mouth, and then you kind of like you taste it, and it's like it tastes like really good, honestly, to you. It tastes really sweet, but then there's like a little bit of a bitter aftertaste to it at the same time. And as this happens, you just feel as you gain this like burst of energy almost, and you are healed for all your HP, and you feel as in the back of your head you feel just something almost like dissolve, and you just feel so much better. Like you feel like you could do anything. Like you feel as though you have all the energy in the world right now, as you feel kind of like almost inspired in a way. But then, as a few like seconds pass, and then you just like, as all your wounds are cured, but you just feel your energy is just completely drained all of a sudden. And I would like you to take 1 point of exhaustion.
Oh, boy.
wow.
Is that the biggest downside though? Like, it's not
Exhaustion is pretty annoying.
Well, level 1's not too bad.
Well, it's disadvantage on everything, pretty much, right?
Just on ability checks. So,
And it's not like permanent.
no,
No, that's true.
it's not
Just
permanent.
gotta have a long rest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exhaustion. Basically, every time you have a long rest, you get rid of 1 point of exhaustion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fine. That's an okay trade-off.
Yeah.
Do I
Okay,
realise
I'll,
that? So do I realise that I've been acting different up until this point, or I just feel?
You feel like you feel very invigorated. You did for that moment, and you don't. You feel a lot happier, both in body and mind.
Okay, but the madness has gone.
Yes, the
Okay.
madness has gone.
That's fine.
Damn it, that was short-lived.
I mean, you know,
I'll-
keep it.
I will step up next.
Just before he steps up, I will turn to Arella. Say,
Yep.
seems like you were talking a lot of truth. You have my thanks. Like the forest remains one of the more helpful places in these worlds. Thank you very much for that.
The forest wishes to help anyone, as long as they take care of it itself. It will take care of you.
Gents, I think
So you're stepping up, Garret.
yeah.
Yep.
I'll usher the Garret along next.
Okay. So yeah, Garret, you step up and you feel the same thing, as you just feel this burst of energy, and you essentially you feel a kind of pain in the back of your head just disperse and just dissolve, as you don't feel as paranoid about everything anymore, and you fully heal.
Oh, nice. Wow, yeah, that definitely feels better. Thank you very much.
No worries.
Hopefully now we can cure whatever problems with Jasper.
Well, hopefully it'd make me feel a little bit better after the horrific day we've had, quite frankly. So let's get this health invigorated with inside me, and I will step forward underneath the lily.
Okay, so yeah, the same thing happens to you as you gain the burst of energy, and you feel as your the kind of greed, what you was feeling over the objects previously, kind of subside, but it feels like it remains a bit. But that's just you. You're like, oh, I'm cured. Oh wait, that's kind of me already.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you feel as this burst of energy just subside, and you're like,
And
I need my beauty sleep. kind of.
as I step away from the lily, I turn and I look in my hand, and I just go, "Why am I holding a bloody stick?" And I just throw it on the floor.
You know, you're
Was
really
this some sort of-
flipping one side to
Was
the
this
other.
some sort of weird prank? Why do I have a stick?
I'm gonna slowly walk over and pick that up and pretend like it's nothing.
Yeah, probably best you hold on to that, Enaline.
Yeah.
Whatever.
You were desperate
Whatever.
for it,
Probably just gonna
Jasper.
hurt himself with it.
I mean, it looks pretty
Annalene.
innocuous to me.
Annalene, you probably noticed this, but as Jasper kind of threw the staff on the floor, you did kind of see a quick sneer from Arella. Just like,
Sorry, he's just like that.
really?
Yeah, Jasper, you shouldn't
I'll take care of it,
disrespect
don't
gifts
worry.
from the forest. They tend to be fairly powerful and fairly helpful.
I do not doubt that this lovely lady was quite helpful to us in many ways. Would you be interested in joining us, and we could, just leave Jin here? Because quite frankly, you'd be more helpful.
Unfortunately, I cannot. I have to safeguard the forest, as well as my grove. It is
That's-
my duty.
That is a shame, because not only would you have been more useful than Jinzeros, you would have been much easier on the eyes than that beast.
I mean, for a changeling who is pretty scared of actually looking like them normal selves, quite interesting
Do we
to call me
actually-
the beast.
Do we actually? Oh yeah, we do know.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
brought up. Yeah.
So,
Um,
whereabouts is this grove, Arella, if you don't mind me asking?
Why, you are in this grove.
Understandable, but we were on our way to Easternglad?
Oh, right. Eastonglad.
We were on our way to Easternglad, weren't we?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
were.
Yes,
yeah.
it's been a while.
Why, this is the forest of Eastonglad.
Oh,
Oh.
Handy to know.
how much time would it take us to get to Eastern Glen?
It is. You see, as she kind of points off into a direction, it's just 2 days that way.
Would-
Not too bad then.
Would I
No.
be able to ask one more favour then of you, Arella? You've been incredibly helpful so far, but I do have one more request.
What is that?
Is we were in that Underdark area for some time, and we haven't had a lot of rest. Would there be anywhere we would be able to maybe get some food and rest here tonight before making our way to Easternglad when the sun rises?
Why? The forest can do that for you. As you see, as kind of you see just within her grove, almost to the side, you see as she has almost these canopies of just leaves and bushes, almost kind of little, almost like resting chambers, almost just these leaf beds, almost. And you see all around you, you see a plethora of all these different berries and other things. The nature. I can't speak. Yeah.
Question: how many rations will we actually have on us? Because we bought a buttload, but we left them all on the cart that we now are quite far away from.
You would have whatever. Did you add the rations to your current ones, or did you leave it separate as to how many
We just
extra
kinda-
you bought?
I think I added quite a few to my own, but I
Yeah.
cannot remember how we did it. Like if we actually split them up, or if I just added them to mine alone.
I think majority of them we
I'm
left
sure
on
you
there.
guys split it up.
No, we left them in the cart.
We left them in the car. I think we
Alright.
We did.
personally, I think we would have probably kept maybe a day's on us or half a day's rations on us.
Yeah, it
Just
wouldn't
as-
have been a lot.
Yeah,
Just as
it would have
general
been a lot.
yeah.
Okay, so change that to 1 then. Great.
I only have one ration. No, I have 9 rations on me.
Yeah, that's what we had, but then we bought a lot and left them all in the cart. I think
Yeah, we bought
Yeah, but I
like a
didn't leave the
month's
ones
worth.
that I had on me in the cart.
that's fair. Well then, would I have more as well then?
Yeah, you would have more then because of the ones you have on you.
Yeah. Okay.
You would have just had a lot
We
more
had some
than
already.
usual.
So then 9 each, I guess.
Yeah, it would have been about 9 each.
All right. Good.
But yes, the forest can do plenty for you. It can feed you and rest you.
You have my thanks then.
Do not worry. The forest will protect you.
Thank you.
No worries.
Yes, thanks. Can you cure our dwarven buddy over here as well, then?
Yes, we can. You two, would you mind holding him towards the lily? As she kind of just points at the two guards. She's like, yeah, we'll do that. Like, they're kind of like mesmerized by like, this being, what they're saying right now. Just like, who is she? Like, they just kind of like speak in between themselves, just like, almost like she did all this crazy stuff. I guess she's some kind of god, maybe, deity. And you see as they kind of just hurriedly move over and bring Fodrick over, and they kind of like open his head slightly as he's really just woozy and just like falling all over the place right now. And you see as the dewdrop like drops into his mouth, and you just see as he just like comes back to reality almost. And you see as the kind of mushroom that was on his neck kind of just fall to the floor. And you see as it falls to the floor, it almost kind of dissolves into just like gas almost, and just floats into the atmosphere. And then you see as he's like, oh, I'm feeling great. Look at me go. And you just see him kind of like jog on the spot, and then you just see as he just slumps, like all that energy. He was like, oh, and you just see him that. Oh.
If he goes to fall forward, I'll try and like grab him as well and apologise for shooting him in the leg. It was a momentary lapse of judgment. I really do apologise for that.
Thank you for that. Oh, I feel like absolute shit.
Yeah.
Not gonna
Join the
lie,
club.
you look it a little bit, mate.
Well, shall we take a rest over here then, and then be on our way tomorrow?
Yep.
Sounds like a good plan.
Would we? I'll turn to Arilla. Would we have to hold watches, or are we good over here?
You are fine. The creatures of the forest will watch you for tonight.
Sweet, thank you.
As you kind of see all these like kind of eyes in the bushes, like you kind of like realize when you're looking around a bit, you just see like all these kind of creatures just watching you at that moment at this site. You just see kind of like a bunny. You even see like a wolf, but it just seems completely tamed. It's not even like growling or anything. It's just watching you guys, almost kind of very peacefully. It's just sat down, and like all these animals just seem to be coinciding with each other right now.
So glad Garret didn't see that beforehand. He would have panicked and run blind into the forest. Yeah,
Yes,
we take
make
a
yourself
rest then.
at home, I guess. So yeah, so you guys all get the benefit of a long rest, and you can take away that point of exhaustion.
Hey.
Hey.
So make sure you restore all your spell slots, and you get everything back.
And a level up, maybe what?
No, not yet.
2 level ups.
Was worth a try.
Okay.
So does Dan then like talk to the wolf that's just sitting there for like half an hour, just wolf to wolf chatting back and forth?
You know, I'll say,
Ow, ow, ow.
You have a little wolf to wolf.
and then
Heart
I'll
to
walk
heart.
around in circles before resting.
So yeah, so you guys managed to have a peaceful, like the most peaceful sleep we've had ever since being on the road, to be honest. Just from like all your energy being drained from you, and from the things you was afflicted with, you're just dreaming ever so peacefully right now. And some of you begin to slowly wake up.
I mean,
Oh,
I'm already
man.
awake, so
Yeah, you are
I've
technically
been awake for
already
ages.
right.
That was a good rest, guys.
Best rest I've had
Pretty
in
good.
weeks.
All right, so we're pretty
As-
close to Eastern Glad all of a sudden.
Yeah, that made it a lot more handy, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 days away is nothing.
I mean, we have been traveling for quite some time.
And we did have to go through quite the ordeal to get here. As much as I
True,
like
yes.
how optimistic you all are, we did just suffer quite a bit.
True. Jin,
Well,
then,
not bad,
Jin then
so-
remembers what we got whilst we were down there. He turns to the other members in the party and it's like, could it be worth maybe asking her about these? And he pulls out the tiger eye that he got. Could it be worth asking
Oh.
her and maybe seeing if she knows what these are? We never did find something for
I mean,
them.
they're just gems.
There may be more. I mean, if we can get some kind of value on them, it could be handy when we get to Eastern Glad.
Doesn't hurt to try, I guess.
You do notice as you're looking around the grove right now, you don't. It's a very bright morning as the kind of light kind of hits the whole of the grove, and you can see a lot more clearer now. But you do notice that Arella doesn't seem to be around. Neither do any of the creatures. What you saw previously, kind of like just watching you guys, aren't there anymore.
So, Arella, I was wondering if you could. What?
Well, there goes that plan. Is there still any like food or anything over there?
Yeah, there's plenty of berry bushes and stuff you could pick from.
All right, then I would like to pick some berries for now and for on the road.
If they're not poisonous.
I think
That
I
was the whole
trust
plan
Noella
all along.
enough to take the risk.
So yeah, mark down basically 2 days worth of rations in berries, basically.
All right, I'll just do 2 days rations.
Take some too.
Sweet.
So,
All right. Well, are you guys ready then? Might as well go now.
well,
Yep.
are we parting ways with the other three then, or are they accompanying
Well,
us?
I'd assume
We should.
at least Roderick is going to come with us.
Yes, we should bring him back to the guild. We did save him after all.
Yeah, we need our reward.
Good point. He did say he could get us in.
Yeah. I mean, we were already were
Pretty
kind of,
in.
you know, we were requested by the guildmaster, you know. How's
And-
Roderick?
So yeah,
doing
so
right
they all sound asleep, to be honest.
Still.
They're still asleep, yeah.
Lazy. I mean, what?
2 of them dealt with a lot, while the other one was a bit. He didn't have much happen to him,
Fair.
so they're kind of just sleeping off everything what happened to him, really.
All right.
But yeah,
Mm,
like
that's
a few minutes pass almost, and you see as Fodrick almost begins to steer and kind of slowly begins to kind of like, you see him like shifting around as he's kind of like he's almost kind of like almost like curled up, kind of like in like the fetal position kind of thing. And you just see him kind of like tossing and turning as he begins to like slowly try and like get up, like.
Good to see you're
Holy
awake.
shit, I needed that.
Yeah, I can relate.
Yep.
Are you ready to go?
I just woke up.
We've got a long day's
Yes,
travel
and
ahead.
not a minute to waste.
Well,
Yeah, we got 2
I
days of journey.
I guess. Let me get some food first, actually. And you just see as he begins to like walk over to the berry bushes, and you just see him try to guzzle down so many of them. You just see him like, he's just like, it's like, oh, I feel like I've been here for days.
How's he
Probably
feel
haven't.
after
You
eating
just-
the berries?
Jinzoris, we don't agree on much, but that dwarven fellow. It seems a bit surprising that the guild would let him in, no?
Yeah, it's still a little bit surprising. But at the moment, although the guild has summoned us, could be our best option in getting into it. Probably
I
best at the
suppose when we
moment.
get him back, we might see the reason why. I suppose
True. If you manage
maybe
to
he
get...
has. Maybe he has a set of skills we don't yet see.
Yeah, some information from him may be handy as well whilst we're travelling.
Yes. But we must move. We must move.
Agreed.
Yes, let's go.
Yeah, so you see him like come over to you guys, and he's like, "So, what are we doing about these two?"
They're probably going to have to find the rest of their order. That's not something we can really help them with. We didn't enter.
Yeah.
We didn't enter the space with them. We just happened to come across them whilst we were down there. So they
I'm
seem
sure
to
they
be
have their own.
Yeah, they seem to be
mission.
rested up. They should do okay on their own.
Yeah, I'm fine with leaving them. As you see, as he just starts beginning to walk off, and he's like, which way are we going again?"
Arella did point the right direction, right?
Yeah, she pointed kind of like a like from where you guys had come from the portal. It was almost just to the left of the tree what you guys came from.
Well, I kind of know where Eastern Glad is because I spent like 3 years there.
Yeah, but now you know where we are right now in the forest.
Yeah, because it's part of Eastern Glad Woods.
Fair.
You do also notice what seems to be a kind of trail of lilies, actually, dotting the kind of way, which Arella seems to have left for you guys.
Druidcraft.
Well, I
Handy.
guess
Oh, no.
we'll go this way then.
Okay. So yeah, so you guys begin to make your way onwards to the Eastern Glad, essentially. You're still in the forest, and it's probably about, I'd say, 2 hours go by after you're traveling for a bit through the forest. I'm assuming you guys are just going at a general walking pace.
Yeah.
You're not like rushing or anything. Okay. Yeah. And Elaloon, Wilhelm, and Garret, you three do notice after looking around as you're traveling along, you do notice a kind of parting almost between the trees off to the right-hand side. And from the current distance, you seem to notice that the area seems to be almost darker. Like, it's pretty light out right now, but like the canopy above you is kind of putting you in the shade. But this area just seems to be just naturally a bit darker.
Right.
And you can see what seems to be an almost kind of like it's forest area, but you see where some trees seem to be missing almost.
Missing, like, there's still trees stumps, or is there like holes, or is just empty space?
Just empty space.
Okay.
Yeah, that's very strange.
Yeah, this looks kind of weird, guys.
Did you point that out to me and Jasper?
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, but it seems pretty big.
Do you guys see the web? There seems like a little bit of, I don't know, seems a little strange.
Yes, it is odd.
Seems unnatural.
Well, I'd call you unnatural, Garret, to be quite frank.
I mean, I would call you a dick, but I don't do that, so.
Well, I think most
Yes,
of
you
us
haven't
would
got the
call him
balls.
No, I do. You're a dick, Jasper.
Too
At
true
least-
right there.
at
It does
least-
seem like a right dick.
Who asked you, dwarf?
He seems to have a lot of common
Well,
sense about it.
me. I asked
Remember-
you, that's what.
I like
Remember,
this guy.
I would have had you shot in the head if I had my way.
and I would have you kicked out the guild if I had my way.
Yes.
Oh, please do.
We'll see what sort of influence you have when we get there.
All right.
He's like the big chef and big chief.
He's like on the top of the chain and then you get removed instantly.
Yeet Jasper, get Casper.
Oh, brilliant.
Can they have like both duel? See who gets in.
Should we check this out, or are we just gonna stand
Yeah.
here?
Yeah,
Like,
let's
what
go
are
have a
we?
quick look.
What are we doing?
I'll have a quick look, but let's be cautious.
Yes.
Yeah,
Being
I
down
agree.
there has taught me anything. This chainmail I've got on, although it's handy for taking damage, it
Could just leave it. Technically, it's not in our way, but I mean,
That's also true.
Yeah,
what
I
do you
mean,
think,
we could
Wilhelm? You
take
know these
note of
areas
it.
quite well.
and report it. I say we will report it to the guild. And then we can
we
always
won't
come
be
back
at the
to it.
guild before 2 days from now.
Yeah,
Fodrick,
it'll be fine.
Fodrick, what do you think?
I don't know. It's not that usual to see stuff like this in the forest, but it is a bit strange. I don't know, really. I mean, we can have a quick look, quick peek, then just go. If anything looks bad, I guess.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what I'm thinking. Have a quick look, but don't get too involved. If it does seem dangerous, I think Wilhelm's got the right idea. Get it reported to the guild. Let them deal with it.
I mean,
Yeah, we can always
Alright.
report it to the others as well.
All right. Let's do that then, and
Well, I'll take lead. Well, we'll have like a quick look then, and I'll like investigate. Use my investigation.
So,
So you begin to make your way over, just a bit past the parting of these trees, and you do notice that it seems to get a bit like, it's almost like the actual ground itself is a bit darker and a lot more. It's not as green as the rest of the forest you're seeing so far. It looks a lot more duller and a bit more like, it feels like you feel a kind of sense of dread almost. And as you get closer, you do notice that there is 3 trees almost kind of in a triangular pattern, and they seem dead, like they are charred black almost, with the branches almost looking kind of like claw-like almost, because of the leaves. There's just no leaves on these trees, and you see hanging from the actual trees themselves what seem to be cages almost, and you can see what seems to be figures, like silhouettes of figures in these cages.
like metal cages, or more like made out of natural form?
More like
Leaves.
metal cages.
Okay.
Oh, this isn't good.
no. Clearly they
Uh,
were looking to dispose of some people.
Is there anything in the cages?
It seems to be silhouettes of humanoid-like figures, it looks like. From
Yeah.
this distance, at least.
If some of those mushroom people had made it above ground, could have been somebody's way of trying to deal with them.
Yeah, it might be.
point.
Enaloon and Wilhelm, make me perception checks. What's that?
Why?
Because the DM says so.
So yeah,
Nice.
to you, Wilhelm, like, you can just barely recognize what these silhouettes are almost like. But Enaloon, like, from this distance, you can clearly see that they seem to be almost like like skeletons of people almost, in these kind of tight bound cages, and you kind of recognize these as gibbet cages, like very tight fit cages that kind of like literally crushing the body almost. and you can see that they just seem to be skeletons with little chunks of flesh hanging onto the bones.
They're not live.
But you
So-
said the trees were charred?
Yeah, they're like black, just pure black in color, and
But
they
are
seem
they,
charred almost.
But are
Dragons.
the cages?
I was about to ask, are dragons a thing in this world? Like a big dragon?
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes. Dragons are a thing.
Oh yeah,
But,
but you
like,
might
are-
create a world where like dragons are really, really super mega rare, and there's like one.
I thought it was Dungeons
But are
and
there
Ducks.
like are the cages? Do the cages and the skeletons look like charred as well, or?
They don't really look charred, but they do seem rusted almost.
Yeah, this seems like a bigger problem. This doesn't seem like a...
This is something
something
the
I
guild
would
need
have.
to be involved with.
Don't you think
Will help.
that...
Can you make me an intelligence check, is it?
Okay.
Don't you think that she would have known that this was happening in her forest?
But what if it happened before she was released?
Hmm.
Are you kidding?
No, just the straight intelligence.
Yeah,
Thank-
not
Oh,
not, not
I'll try to find
Not
it.
safe.
It's the big numbers. It's the big
big-
numbers.
Also,
Oh.
Dan,
Not the check,
Yeah.
not the skills.
Dan, do you have a
big
plus
numbers.
13
Saving
to your
throw.
perception?
Yeah.
nice.
There we go.
Nice.
What?
Nothing, I
What
may
did
be
you say,
reading it
Rambo?
wrong. I thought
No.
the number in the brackets
Okay.
was the roll, and then...
No.
So 20. So you kind of recall that these gibbet cages are typically these tight thin cages that are normally shown off, that show kind of the corpse of some kind of criminal. Usually, they seem to show off.
Yeah, it might be the capital doing.
But they char the forest though.
Yeah, which seems unusual. That's not typically what they do. But
Oh, let's report it to the guild then, and be on
yeah,
our way.
that's the
Alright.
best
Yeah.
what we can
Agreed.
do right now.
All right, and I start walking.
Okay. So you guys begin to make your way back onto the path. Not the path, but the lily path anyway, at least. And you guys begin to make your way further through the forest. At that point, you guys have probably advanced about what feels almost like 4 hours. Near enough, as you notice the kind of sun is not exactly at its highest point, but after this extended period of time of you guys walking, you notice as the sun seems to be slowly making its way back down, assuming it's starting to get a bit later on in the day. You finally do begin to see where the kind of trees begin to part in the distance where this lily path is taking you, and you see the faint bits of sunlight shining through as you guys finally get out of the forest and begin to see the scenery around you. You see around you a beautiful landscape before you with some beautiful rolling hills dotting the landscape with some small clusters of trees all over. In the distance, about 200 feet ahead of you, you do see what seems to be a winding dirt road that leads off towards a small group of mountains in the distance. Can all of you make me perception checks?
Of course.
Okay.
Dirty 20.
15.
20?
Dirty 20 as well.
19.
20, 15, 19.
Nice roll.
What did you get,
Decent.
Jasper?
19.
19. Shit!
Decent
Damn, you guys
rolls
are all
all
really
round.
good.
Good work.
Holy shit! Okay.
50
Yeah,
lows.
so all of you see in the distance as where these mountains in the distance you can see, you see almost like a silhouette where the mountain kind of protrudes, but then as it comes back down, you do notice where it almost kind of becomes very straight and solid, almost like buildings or like a huge wall is kind of connected to this mountain in the distance. Wilhelm, you especially recognize this as where Eastern Gladders.
Aha.
And you also notice as Fodrick just kind of he just has like a smile, like a full-on smile on his face, like, oh, I'm glad to be home. Holy shit! I can't wait.
How long ago did, or what date, if you remember, did you leave?
Like the 3rd, maybe.
How
They'd
long?
been gone for like 3 months.
Is that about 3 months?
No. What's the date now?
No, that's why I'm asking the DM.
Oh right. Yeah. On what you remembered, you guys set out on your journey on the 10th of October. It was, and over the course of the few days of travel, the last date you remember was on the same day you guys fell into the ravine. Essentially, it was the 15th.
Okay, so he wasn't down there much longer than.
Yeah, he was, because he left on the 3rd,
About
right?
On the
2
3rd, yeah.
weeks.
So a
About 2
week
weeks.
Well, that's
longer, basically.
2 weeks before we fell into the hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, in the situation, like he hasn't been down there for months.
Oh yeah,
No.
fair.
Like,
Still quite a while.
So a while, and being in the Underdark, it's kind of like a sense of you've lost track of time, almost like you don't know properly what day it is right now.
hmm
Well, that's quite a while then.
Yeah, look at me, I'm getting skinny.
Eat some more berries, you'll be fine.
I need some meat down me, not berries.
Well, once we get to Eastern Glad, you can feed yourself.
And maybe you could all buy us all a meal as well for saving your life.
Must kill
He
them.
just kind of stares daggers at you. You, probably not. These lot, maybe. Him, he's apologised, I'll accept it.
see, Jasper, being nice to people does actually pay off once in a while.
Yep.
Yes, it sickens me.
We've
Sickens me
still
how
got a while
people
to...
bend their characters just for friendships.
Don't worry, I'll buy you a beer when we get into the town. I kind of slap him on the shoulder as we continue walking.
Yeah.
Let's go.
As you guys are walking along, Fodrick is just essentially making conversation with you guys and just saying, we've still got a while to go, to be honest, but you should get there by tomorrow morning, midday maybe at least. It's getting a bit darker at this point, and it's getting near to dusk. Yeah, we should probably start hunkering down
Are we in like a
Pretty
field now, or?
It's kind of like it's almost like an open plains, but it's got a very hilly area around it.
Okay.
So there's a lot of and there's like small bits of trees where they kind of make like very small, concise, like forests almost, like just like very small bits.
Mhm.
And that's kind of the main environment around here at the moment.
Alright, so do we want to continue a little bit longer and then call it for today? Or do we want to set up camp now and continue tomorrow?
I'd say we'd probably want to travel a bit further. Honestly, we don't want to be too open, especially with night coming soon. We don't really want to be too far from the outskirts of Eastern Glad, honestly.
Alright, then let's go.
Yeah. Should we say couple more hours and then look for a good kind of grouping of trees?
Yeah, that sounds fine.
Alright.
Yes. I would much rather camp in the safety of the trees, not out in the open.
Oh yeah, by the way, do any of you have a weapon at all I could borrow temporarily?
Borrow. Well, we should have taken Jinzeros's bolt out of your leg, and you could have used that.
How
Charming as
are
always.
you with a great axe?
We'll have a
Sounds great. Sounds
a
great
short
for
sword?
me, honestly.
I'll pass on the great
Fools,
axe.
why are we just handing this man a weapon?
Because he can be useful.
Well,
The
to have
guild?
him-
Handed you a weapon.
Yes, he could be useful to slice your head off, Garret.
Well, that's something he'd probably do to you, but not to me, because I have been
Well,
nice to him.
Yes, apparently he seems to not like me. I'm not quite sure why, because I've saved his life.
And
But
in
When did you
fairness,
save
if
his
he
life?
tried to
Was that
attack
before or
any...
after? Before or after for threatening to kill him?
he didn't know that. It's fine.
He has ears?
He
Yeah, I'm
probably
pretty sure
does.
he heard everything.
Ears?
And also, just with usual common sense, if he tried to attack us here, there's 5 of us that would attack him back.
Oh, I don't know. Some of you are, quite spineless.
Okay, there's 4 of us that would attack him back, and you'd be pissing your pants. Either way, he'd be
Again.
outnumbered.
Let's see what you did. It's a clever joke from the dragon once again. Round of applause. Yes, well done.
Well,
All right, I'll pass on the great axe, and here, have this helmet too. I don't really have.
Oh, well, we're just a bloody charity now, are we? Wonderful.
Thanks a lot. It means a lot.
No worries. You're welcome.
I just give any Tom, Dick, and Harry whatever they want now. Apparently, just stroll up.
With
Oh,
the way
well,
it's-
welcome to the gang. You can weapons. Yes, why not? Have one. Why not? Oh, we'll kit you out with armor as well. You, random. Hello. Come on in. Join us. Yeah, why not?
I mean,
Morons, the lot of you.
he's going to make better use of it than you would, Jasper, so...
I mean, for starters, he has the strength requirement.
That would explain a lot about you, Wilhelm. All strength, no brains.
Wow.
Well, I mean, he can navigate this area better than you have. He's managed
Yes,
to save
because he has
you
been
and-
here before.
he's
That's
managed-
called memory, not intelligence.
He's managed to save you and us on a few occasions.
No,
Really making
sorry.
himself seem more valuable here at this point.
Wilhelm did not save me. Good doggy boy saved me.
They are the same person.
Yeah,
Frankly,
so-
no, they're
Yeah,
not.
don't bother. He's just not smart enough to understand it, I guess.
Wilhelm is much more useful when he, loses the ability to talk, which is quite frankly my favourite part. And then he transformed into the four-legged feline friend.
You weren't so fan of that when he first did that, but okay.
No, the smell was quite off-putting, I will say.
I would have said your screaming at the top of your lungs was more off-putting, but...
Well, Genzeros, it seems that previously when we were agreeing that was a fluke. That was a flash in the pan. Because you've gone back to being the insufferable oaf I thought you were.
Well, I mean, credit when credit's due. On occasion, you do make common sense, but I feel that's like a once-in-a-blue moon thing, so we've got at least 10 years before it happens again, so... Anyway,
And you would be
Let's-
privileged to witness it again.
Let's
Much
just
like-
continue, and I start walking.
yeah, let's pick that tree group over there. That'll probably be better.
Yes. Let's go, charity group. Let's go
I
see
like
if we
the
can
idea
grab
of
someone.
more-
Let's go see if we can get another peasant to join us. Why not? Wonderful. As I roll
Talk
my
like
eyes.
that about people.
Jasper is not gonna
Kill.
be part of our group any much longer, I feel like.
I have to redeem myself soon enough.
So
I'll-
you guys begin to make your way following the road towards Eastern Glad a bit longer. About how longer do you guys want to travel before it's up?
said a couple of hours.
So like 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah,
Till it really starts to become dark, I guess.
and then
Yeah.
find like the nearest tree cluster that we can make camp in.
Okay, so about 3 hours go by on the trail. As it begins to get a lot more darker, you can see it's beginning to kind of like get towards sunset now. As you see the kind of sun go behind some of the mountains in the distance, and you got these last bits of light remaining. You also do feel though, like little bits, like droplets of water almost coming down on you, as it seems to start raining ever so slightly. It's not like a full-on like rainstorm like coming down, but you feel every now and then a droplet of rain coming down.
Yeah, we may camp. I'll try and light a small fire. To keep
Okay.
some heat going,
Uh,
just a small one.
Yeah, you guys are kind of propping it near to like a hill and some of like the small like condensed forests, aren't you?
Yeah.
Ugh, I do hate the rain. Enaloon, do you have any sort of spell to give us like a magical umbrella or something?
Umbrella.
What's this? What's this?
I'd love it if
thing?
Henaloon just actually pulled out an umbrella and was just like, no way of this.
Pulls out giant leaf. No, I am not a magician.
Oh,
Don't just make the rain go away.
no, but some sort of magical barrier. I don't know what sort of spells you have access to. You have been alive quite a few hundred years now. You might have picked up a few
You'll
tricks
have
on the
quite
way.
a few hundred more.
Yes, I thought you might have learned something useful by now, though.
Yeah, the whole healing everybody and making sure people don't die. I mean, such a useless
Yes,
group
that's
of
quite
skills,
nice, yes.
spells
Makes
now.
another note of not to heal Jasper next time.
I'll take first watch then.
Okay, so you guys set up your camp and kind of begin to kind of warm yourselves around the campfire before you start kind of assigning watches to people. And at this point, you do feel that as the rain starts to get decently heavier, as you can hear the wind start to howl at this point, as you just hear the rain kind of just chucking it down right now. So who's taking first watch then?
I would
Yeah.
take it too.
Yeah, so Gingeros and Wilhelm, first watch. Okay.
Same as always, I suppose.
Yeah.
I mean, we can always swap it up.
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, actually, I kind of want to now. I can be the, I can turn into a werewolf and keep our privileged trat over here company.
Yay. At least I won't
Sure.
have to talk to you.
I'll take first watch then instead of you.
Yeah, sounds good.
So who's first watch? Garret and Gingeros then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So both of you make me perception checks, please.
Mhm.
Or give one advantage and do two separate, whichever one
I
you want to
already
do.
rolled.
Oh, okay.
So 22.
Better than my 13.
Okay, so yeah, the both of you are essentially just keeping watch. You just see as the rain is just kind of pouring it down at this moment, and you just hear as thunder begins to kind of just echo through the clouds, as you do see kind of some bolts of lightning almost come crashing down almost off in the distance. It seems to be a pretty decently furious storm, and a lot of the rain is kind of pouring onto you guys a bit, and just it's a very uncomfortable night, honestly. It's just constant the drizzle of rain. It's freezing cold just because of the really strong wind, and you just see all the trees around you just kind of just waving as it just gets harsher and harsher. Other than that goes on for quite a while.
I was
Yeah?
going to say during the watch, I'd just be
What?
talking to Garret, just trying to get to know him
Well,
a little bit
your
more.
mic's not.
Yeah, your
coming
mic
through.
shit the
Yeah.
bed.
Yeah, you might shit the bed.
Is it?
I can barely hear you.
Sound like you're underwater.
What?
There you go.
Nah,
There you go.
that's fine.
Yeah, no, I'll just talk to Garret, just kind of
Yeah.
general get to know what really brought you guys over here. I mean, it's a pretty interesting scenario of situations. I mean, you can clearly
Yeah.
hold your own in a fight from what I
Mhm.
saw in the Underdark.
Yeah, I've had my fair share of combat in my past.
So it seems. So yeah, what brought you over here then? Are you a guardian or something to Enelane? I mean, you clearly
Not
have some kind of
exactly.
history.
Not much. I happened to run into her, and we kind of started talking, and figured it would be beneficial for both of us to travel together.
pretty
That's
handy.
all, really. Come again?
I said it's pretty handy to have friends
Yeah.
like that. I know Wilhelm has been a big help in my travels and stuff across.
How did you guys meet up?
He's an acquaintance. He's doing a lot of odd jobs and stuff. Yeah, a lot of odd jobs and stuff around the continent. Bit of a history with things that happened, so he's been really helpful at the moment. Jasper, on the other hand, is an acquired friendship. I feel. Kind of feel
Yeah.
there's more to him though. I mean, you've heard
Yeah,
him talking
did
in his
he-
sleep, didn't you?
Yeah, he did. Something about his mother, I believe.
Yeah, something like that. It's, yeah. I feel there may be a point that might actually change his attitudes and stuff, but we'll have to wait and
Well,
see.
Or nothing. If this continues, he's gonna get kicked out of the group, I think. If what's his face? Vodrick is actually higher up in the guild. It's not looking well for him, I think.
No. Could a change in tact work? I mean, as fun as it is taking the piss out of Jasper, maybe when we get to Easternglad, maybe just sitting down trying to have a proper chat to him. See if he warms
I
up a
don't
little
know.
bit.
It feels like it's kind of useless, to be honest. He's not changed a bit since we met him, so...
No.
I mean, you have a bit more experience than I do, since you've known him a bit longer. I don't know how much longer.
Vaguely, I mean, it's generally his demeanour. To be honest, it'd be interesting to find out a little bit more about his past.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Side note, Matt, are we supposed to be asleep right now? Like, assumed the rest
Yeah,
of us.
Yes.
are
yeah,
asleep? Okay,
yeah.
thank you.
This is on our watch.
Just checking.
He just hears all of this. It's like,
Jasper standing behind them, just
No,
like, what the
just-
hell's going on?
Literally just stood there like, hello. I was just checking. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, if he is going to be sticking around, I mean, I'll try and find out some information. If I do, I'll make sure to pass on to the rest of you guys as well. Maybe we
Yeah,
can
that-
piece something together to make him tolerable.
Mm-hmm. That'd be nice. I mean, like you say, if he actually does stick around and isn't kicked out of the guild immediately when we get to the guild, we might have to find a way to you know, live with each other, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Random question though. If the
Hmm.
guild is the end of it, like, we do the odd jobs and we finish up with them, where would you head from there?
Well, eventually I have my my business to take care of.
What business is that? If you don't mind me asking.
Let's just say I have some demons in the past that I have to deal with,
I think we all have some of those.
probably.
That's fair. Well, you can definitely hold your own. It's going to be interesting, the next leg of the adventure.
Yeah, so can you. You're quite skilled with that gun.
Yeah,
Interesting weapon.
I put
How
out.
did you how did you get to use it? How did you come across something like that?
Just kind of came across it and found that I was one of the few people that was actually skilled in using it in the group that I was with beforehand, so it just kind of became my thing. It's not too bad. It's handy. Takes a little bit of training, but it's not too bad. When we get to Easternglad, though, I'm hoping somebody can help me get some ammo and stuff for it. I'm running a little bit light.
That would be useful, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that crossbow is pretty cool too, but seems like you were more efficient with the gun.
Yeah. Definitely got some fun tricks up its sleeve once you get used to it. Hopefully, though, I can after slipping up a couple times in the Underdark, hopefully I can change out some of this attire as well and get something more useful.
Yeah.
Great to have a good gun, but if everybody hears you coming from a mile off, it kind of takes away some of that emphasis.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, like, the other side is that they would still have to live to tell the tale, you know?
True. Yeah.
Well, good talk.
Who's taking second watch then? Or who should we kick up for second watch?
Well, it's me and
Well,
Dan, right?
I was thinking maybe we can, you know, pull some stuff again with Jasper, but since we kind of agreed on maybe, you know,
Bullies a lot, yeah.
maybe we should make sure that we get along a bit better. Maybe we shouldn't, you know.
Yeah. Well, we've been through a lot recently. We'll give him a couple of nights and then
Fair enough. If he stays a dick, we can always do stuff, you know.
Yep.
Alright,
Always-
sounds good.
Always happy for a good prank on that one.
There we go. Nice. Sweet. All right. Well then, let's get the next two up.
Which one of you two is going to wake me up? I need to know.
He has been particularly mean to you. I mean, more than happy to give you the honours to wake him up.
Sure. All right. I will go up to Jasper, and I will start plinging his ear.
Okay, just after you hit my ear once, I roll over and you hear me go, I know we need the money. I know we need money. But I don't want to be him. He's horrible. I don't want to be him.
Okay. Before I start plinging his ear, I will turn to Jin. Hey Jin, come over here.
What's up? Yeah, I walk over.
He was whispering in his sleep again. Something about he doesn't want to be him.
Right, so he doesn't want to let his mum down and he doesn't want to be someone else.
Doesn't want to be Jasper?
I don't know. You know how you were saying you had past demons?
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to think this one's got a boatload of them.
Yeah. Seems like it.
Alright. Let's get him
Let's
up
get
then.
it with. Yeah, I start plinging his ear.
I wake Wilhelm up.
What the bloody hell? Garret, get your filthy hands off of me. What are you doing?
How else would you want me to wake you up then?
Oh, I don't know. Normal people would just go, ooh, Jasper, wake up, and, you know, give him a little shake. What sort of child goes up and flicks their ear?
Yeah, this was more fun.
I know you're the size of a child, but you don't have to act like one. Bloody hell.
Whatever, dude. Next watch is yours.
Okay.
And I roll over. And
Now wake up.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
That
Jin,
already?
Jinzeros, have you woken the wolf boy?
I just point at Wilhelm when he's standing next to me. Just like a... Come on, dude.
Yes, okay. I see him now. I'm half asleep. Yeah, whatever.
Just as I fall asleep, I turn to Wilhelm. Make sure he doesn't piss his pants again.
Very
I can't
funny.
guarantee that.
Very funny. No, go get your beauty sleep. God knows you need it, you ugly fool.
Okay, so we probably should actually get to know each other a bit more.
Hang on, Matt, are we
haven't
roll?
really
Wait,
had-
Yeah.
Matt, are we rolling?
Yeah, roll
Yeah.
perception checks.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, this is a good idea before we start yapping on.
I was gonna say, just start like talking away, but Matt, in Matt's head, like something's happening and we just haven't noticed it. 12.
And then 19. Oh no,
No,
oh no,
that's
that's the odd one.
16.
Yeah, that's the odd one. Okay.
That was okay.
So yeah, so you guys begin to kind of like just settle down for your watch, just iron up the environment. Similar to what happened to Jinzurus and Garret, the rain is honestly pouring down. For you, Jasper, it's kind of an annoyance, honestly. It's just coming down on you. You're like, "Ugh, stupid rain," but it's kind of like the wind is howling still pretty thoroughly, and this storm doesn't seem to be letting up anytime soon, as the kind of lightning bolts keep on just coming down, crashing like crazy.
Meanwhile, I'm loving the rain. I kind of want to like transform into a wolf and
My first line was literally just going to be Jasper going, I really don't hope you transform well home, because the smell of wet dog will honestly just put me off.
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want you to suffer. Not tonight. Maybe another night.
And say we're so close to Eastern Glad that if people could just stop being insufferable for one more day, it'd be lovely.
Once you get to Eastern Glad, you will love it. It's very similar to the capital in terms of its prestige. You get used to it.
I will definitely feel more at home within the big city walls, you know. Being royalty myself, my home was always within the large castle.
Well, my father worked with a lot of royalties and stuff.
Hey.
He was a doctor.
What an honor! You must be very proud of your father.
I was. I actually took some medical schools when I was young. I never stuck to it, but it's part of me and why I got into my blood rituals and etc.
Whilst I would like to say it was a shame that you didn't continue on that path, your dabbling in the odd blood rituals has saved lives, so I can't say it's been useless.
Yeah, it's actually the main reason why, like, I got into Eastern Glad as part of a crime and investigation. But the more I got into medical and science, the more I wanted to experiment and infuse myself with my past.
But on that point of the infusion and the blood rituals, the werewolf side to you, is it not dangerous?
It's the first time I transformed, I did things I regretted. It was very hard to control, and I may have went on a rampage and killed a few dozens guards, and it was not pleasant.
If we're sat down, Jasper just edges over one extra seat's like width. Like.
But ever since then, I have controlled myself. I barely ever transformed. Like, when I was saving you, that was like my first time in years.
Well, please take it as the most sincerest thing I have ever said. I'm glad you didn't kill me. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it would have been very awkward to explain to the group.
But now obviously you are well versed in the area, when we do get back to Eastern Glad, what should we expect from this guild? Because we do not know too much about it.
Personally, I have never been, like, I have seen the guild around, but I have never been so a part of it as I am right now.
Have you heard?
Like, behind closed doors type of.
So no stories, no myths,
There's
rumors.
always rumors and stuff going along, but at the end of the day, it's hard to tell fact from rumor.
You see, us royals, we have to keep ourselves clear of such scandals and things like that. We must preserve the family's name, as you would say.
Yeah, I understand that. My father was very keen on the idea of keeping, what is the word?
Like keeping your reputation. Yes, I do agree. I understand you quite well there. The Bensworths once were a fearful name, and they slipped. The Bensworths slipped into, I won't say mediocrity. That is too strong of a word for me to use from my family. But they eased up on their grip of the land, and my father was a very weak man.
So is that kind of your goal, is to prove him wrong and do what's right for your own family's namesake?
The Bensworths, the name of the Bensworth used to strike fear into the peasants and the mortals of the land. And now we are charity cases. We are the lovely royals who will help you throughout your life. And whilst I'm not against helping people, I do believe that other royal families looked at the Bensworths and thought they could take advantage.
Yeah, I can see that happening. It's that's why reputation is very important as somebody as high as your status.
Yes, my status, exactly.
So what are your plans after this guild? After, like, what do you plan to do with yourself?
Well, I'm very much hoping that I can restore some of the nobility and honor to the Bensworth's name via the guild, to get the almost spread the name, as you were, back around the land. Afterwards, however, I am essentially a free man. I must try and find my way in life. I am still many years ahead of me, and I must do better than my father did.
And
However,
you're out here trying to prove yourself. That's
well, Helm, I know I may come across as abrasive sometimes, but please understand, it is with the goodest intentions. It may not seem like it, I understand, but one day I will explain. I will explain.
I respect that.
Sometimes they say books should not be judged by their cover, and I also feel like there are more books in a series that people should read.
Yeah, kind of like a whole library.
Maybe one day. But until now, this watch has been quite unpleasant. The rain is just absolutely insufferable.
And you get used to it. I kind of
Ah.
love it, but that might be my beast inside
Oh,
me. I guess.
Frankly, I hate it, quite frankly. It's disgusting. I used to be around the family horses, and they would kick the mud up everywhere. And because of the rain, of course, that mud just becomes quite vile and disgusting. I hate it. The sooner we can get up the witch lady, or whatever her name is, Ina Lune, or whatever. Maybe she can have a watch that is, more miserable than the one I've had, quite frankly.
He was so close to becoming endearing in that second, and he had to go back.
Well, let's drink for that.
But yeah, end of our watch? Question mark?
See, your guys' watch goes by quickly after having such an in-depth conversation. Yeah, you guys' watch has ended. You can wake up the next one.
Wilhelm, please do go wake Ina Lune. I'm going to go back to sleep.
Very well. Annalune, it's your turn. Wake up.
I'm already awake.
Wow.
I
You
don't.
are.
I don't sleep much. I don't need much sleep.
I never knew that. I normally take first to post.
Yeah, I only need about 4 hours, so I'm fine, really.
Well, if you need anything, I'll be over there. Enjoy your post.
Okay, I'll be fine.
So, make me a perception check, Lou.
I'm blind right now. Sorry.
Natural one, you
Oh
are blind.
no.
Yeah, you are. Definitely blind. Holy shit, okay. So yeah, so with that,
You don't want my help?
Clap.
so essentially for a majority of the watch, you do have Fodrick with you for the watch, by the way.
Great.
Oh,
Okay.
He rolls that one as well.
he rolled an 8.
Oh,
Great. Awesome.
are we all gonna die in our sleep?
So anyway, although you're not really tired, you're kind of out of it, just like reflecting almost on everything that just happened over these like past few days to you. Your kind of journey in the Underdark, along with a meeting with this magical woman who seemed to have connections with nature. You're just kind of reflecting on everything that's happened to you, so you're kind of in, like, just in deep thought. So although you're kind of like trying your best to look out, you're just kind of being overwhelmed with just reflecting in your own thoughts at the moment. Fodrick, in the meantime, is kind of doing almost the same, just like trying to remember anything he can, just because of what's happened to him as well. And you kind of notice this every so often, but you just keep getting lost in your own thoughts that you're not really paying too much attention to yourself, to him even. And you kind of do this, and you kind of get that lost that you don't realize the time, and you see as like you kind of look up again, and it's morning. You're like, oh. Where did the time go?
We all died.
And everyone else is dead, right next to me.
And as you're
all just
looking
grown
around,
mushrooms
you
on
just
them.
you just see where the terrain around you has just become very muddy over the course of this constant storm and the rain, making just the environment very muddy. You just see the trees where some branches have cracked off, and and you just see where just like a lot of stuff is just waterlogged more than anything around you. So yeah. And you see Fodrick actually like half asleep right now as well.
Oh no.
Just kind of resting against a
Right.
tree, just like.
She rolls her eyes like, fuck's sake. Much help, is it?
All right. Well, I'm getting up.
Okay. So you begin to wake up. What do you do? And yeah, the storm seems to have subsided. Just like what Eleanor saw, everywhere is very muddy, kind of waterlogged from this storm. You see in the distance, actually, where one tree has actually kind of like fallen over from the kind of like thunderstorm almost what happened last night. And yeah, you guys are well rested.
All right. I'm gonna have some nice breakfast with berries again.
Breakfast berries.
Exactly.
Breakfast berries.
I'm also gonna go up
Nature's
to Jasper
candy.
and flick his ear some more.
Jasper does not move.
Oh well, he's dead, guys. Let's go.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I kick up some mud in his direction.
Oh no.
Do that, am I
not
reminding him of
not
the
to land
horses?
on him, but like splat next to him. So a little bit will get on him.
Okay. Jasper, in his sleep, feels this and rolls over. And all you hear him say is, the filth. And then it wakes up. Who the bloody hell's making a mess?
That would be you in your sleep, Jasper. Come on.
And then, as I go to sit up, I put my hand in like a pile of mud, and I'm just like, oh my goodness. This bloody storm. It's the last thing we needed, quite frankly. Is everyone in one piece?
Of course.
Mhm.
Are you?
I'm just about. How's Poodle Dick what's his face?
What?
How's Poodle Dick what's his face?
Poodle Dick, what's his face?
Yes, I don't remember his name.
I've started speaking.
Poodle Dick, what's his face?
I've started
Surely you're
speaking
referring to
Jasper.
yourself.
The
I think it means
dwarf.
the dwarf.
Poodle Dick. Is that
My
not
name's
his...
Fodrick, not Poodle Dick.
Oh,
You may be mistaking it for your own name.
Well, I don't know how Jasper and Poodle Dick sound the same, but whatever.
Don't know how Fodrick and Poodle they sound the same, but whatever.
It's too early in the morning to entertain dwarves.
You're not that entertaining, to be honest.
I don't think you...
You're a bit of
got
an
the
eyesore.
point. I'd call you an eyesore, but there's not much of you.
True. But at least I got these bad boys. You just feel like flexes. but still.
Yeah, I was going to say, Jasper,
dear
remember he
goodness.
is the one that's able to actually wield the axe.
Yes, he is a very big, strong boy, isn't he? I bet your mother's very proud of you.
Can you say the same?
Excuse me? That's the second time now, Garret, and I don't know what you're insinuating, but I will find
Second
out.
time.
It's the second time you have insinuated things about my mother, and I will
Have
not
I?
stand for it. Yes, Jasper does not forget.
I mean, it's normally come off the back of you mentioning your mother.
Yeah.
I have never once brought my mother up in the company of you people.
You have. Multiple
I
times.
I have never.
You have.
I do not mention my... I merely, in response to you, talking about my mother, have mentioned her, but I would never bring her up otherwise.
Yes, you did.
I have no idea what you mean.
You sleep talk, dude.
Yes, but doesn't everyone? You know, they roll around, think of the blah blah blah, all dreams, bunnies, all that. Everyone.
Yeah.
And then whenever we
Not-
mention
not-
your mother,
not
you get
as-
very defensive.
Yeah, not as descriptive as you, buddy.
So who do you not want to turn into?
Oh, I don't know what you mean. There are a lot of people I wouldn't want to turn into. You know, the life of a changeling, you know, having turned into a lot of people. I don't want to turn into you, quite frankly.
I mean, can you even turn into me? I'm way too good looking for you.
Oh, yes, you evidently don't know how changelings work.
Well, give it a go. See if you can turn into me.
Can I do it outside of battle, Matt?
You can do it anytime
I
you want.
can. Okay, so I just, you know, sort of brush myself off a little bit, and I go, oh, okay, fine, Garret. If you want to just see the things I am capable of, voila! I click my fingers, and I've transformed into Garret.
Yeah, but technically you cannot change into something like smaller than your size. You can only change up to 1 foot.
He basically
smaller
looks
than
like
you.
a tall version of Garret right now. He's got like the face and everything, but it's
No,
just like.
I can change height and weight.
Yeah, but up to a
Is
foot.
it?
I
Is it
believe.
how we?
I've
Yeah.
played changeling as well. I'm pretty sure there's like a limit. Like I'm
No. Shape changer. You can change appearance and voice. You determine the specifics of the changes, including your coloration, hair length, sex, height,
Yeah.
and weight. You can make yourself appear as a member of another race, though none of your stats change. You can't duplicate a creature you've never seen, and you must adopt something that has the same arrangement of limbs.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure there was something about size, and I believe I'm small and you're medium size, right?
I mean, it doesn't state this in Shape Changer. It says I can change my
I'm-
height and weight.
I'm pretty sure, because I played a changeling myself at some point.
I'm just going off the sheet, literally what it says, and the height and weight are on there.
Let's find out in this episode of.
Oh, okay. So a changeling can't disguise themselves as a halfling. They can, but as basically a tall version. So you will look like Garret, but just
it's
a very
it's
just
a
a
race.
smaller
It's a race specific thing.
yeah.
Not really, because you should be able to change into, for example, a tiefling, because they are the same size. But because I'm smaller size, you cannot change into me, and I believe there was something about.
But then surely it would still be race specific though, because under Shape Changer it says I can change my height and weight.
We can look into it afterwards.
Yes,
Yeah.
this was merely for just a joke. So I am in a tall version of Garret now. And I quip, see? Garret, but with the rest of him attached.
Right. That's not me though.
No, I am much better sized and better looking. As I snap back and go back to Jasper. Now, if Fumbleddick Dwarf Man is ready, we will go.
Let's go then.
I take it
Podrick is ready.
Fumbleddick Dwarf Man.
He's just kind of just been staring daggers at you while you've had this conversation.
Okay.
Just like,
As we turn to go, I give him a big old slap. I give the dwarf a big old slap on the back and I go, "It's just a joke, my friend."
yeah, I understand. And you guys begin packing up your stuff and begin making your way off onto the winding dirt road towards Eastern Glad. And shall we leave it there?
Yeah. Can do.
Yeah.
That means the DM has something planned for us before we get there.
Boy, probably.
But no,
Man,
that was fun. Good session.
Yeah.
though.
that was. Yeah, for sure.
Heavy roleplay, holy shit! Like there's so much. It was really nice, actually.
I was both a little relieved and slightly gutted that I didn't get to be Jasper for a little bit longer.
I was disappointed. I wanted double Jaspers for longer.
Yeah, I was wondering how we were gonna get rid of all that stuff, because it could have gone very badly for me, mostly, probably. Because, if I'm super
Paranoid.
anxious,
Yeah,
paranoid,
because
then
you
that
probably
could-
wouldn't have slept at night, would you?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, how far is this gonna actually go? Like, at some point, I'm maybe like in the beginning, not so much.
Yeah, but you would have probably
eventually I would
hit,
not sleep.
you
I
probably
would
would have hit
start to-
level 3 exhaustion by that point, given our travel time.
Yeah, yeah. Plus, I would probably start to distrust you guys as well.
True.
So that was gonna be interesting.
But no, really fun session, Matt. Cheers for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I was thinking to myself like, we need a break from all these encounters because we've had so much shit happen to you guys. We need a nice, relaxing one
Yeah.
to an extent.
We
Yeah, it's like-
we just turn up at Eastern Glad like completely dishevelled, like really deep eyes from not sleeping. It's just like terrible,
have
terrible
mushrooms
things.
growing out of you. Just look like some crazed hermits.
So, yeah, no, that was fun. I hope you guys in chat enjoyed that as well. Slightly lighter than previous ones, but definitely still a good laugh. Yeah, if you guys don't already, be sure to follow the rest of the party. If I've done that right.
You did it!
And the links were.
Hey!
It's also updated
They
on
all
the
work.
overlay as well, so Josh's one is updated on the overlay as well.
Yeah.
So, but
Pro
yeah.
streamer, here we go. Right now.
Do you guys want to tell chat when you guys are streaming this week then?
Ladies first.
Yeah, Natty, do you want to go first?
Ladies first.
Oh, ladies first. Nietzsche.
Hello.
When you streaming this
When-
week?
Wednesday.
Ah,
Said it
Wednesday,
3
my
times
dude.
already. Am I not picking up?
No,
no, I think it might.
No, it
It
wasn't.
wasn't picking
No,
up.
the third one, we managed to hear you.
Natty?
Love it.
Tomorrow, and it's actually going to be a special one because it's going to be Milestone Monday for the Milestone streams that I'm doing since I hit a few with my fundraiser, and tomorrow is going to be Vermintide 2, where chat is going to screw me over with all kinds of stuff.
Oh, amazing.
yeah.
Definitely gonna make sure for that. I've seen the stream influence on Vermintide 2. Super fun.
Yeah.
I can't stream for a while still because of all my work I've got to do.
Yeah,
Six days a
working.
week at the minute, man.
Ooh. But you're doing good work. Like,
Yeah.
key worker to the max on that.
Yeah, like 2 people left, so I'm basically making up for the 2 people who have left. So.
Yikes. That sucks.
Yeah.
Fair play, man. Josh, you gracing us with a stream this week?
For maybe next weekend. Oh, hang on, no, do we have bank holiday this week? We do, don't we?
Yeah.
No, next week.
No,
Next Monday. Next Monday.
next
next
Monday.
Monday.
Yeah. Okay, so no, not unless it's the weekend.
That's fair enough. I mean, if he does, he'll definitely be tweeting now. Most of you guys should be following for that. But yeah, I will be back tomorrow with more God of War, and then Wednesday with more Bayonetta. So looking forward to seeing you guys there. I'll speak to you guys on the Discord and stuff otherwise. So until then, thank you guys very much. I'll speak to you guys later. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.